Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, I know you probably don't want to talk to me right now, but I just wanted to see how you were doing. Your posts are starting to scare me. Do you think we can meet somewhere? Meet somewhere?
You can catch me at the cemetery, dancing with the skeletons, feeling weary. Life is irrelevant, feeling scary. Death is so delicate and cold. You can catch me at the cemetery, dancing with the skeletons, feeling weary. Life is irrelevant, feeling scary. Death is so delicate and cold. I hope the creatures on the earth that feel the bed rocking. The voices in my head stop talking. I don't feel alone cause I know they're always watching. Yeah, you know they're always watching. Creatures on the earth that feel them shaking. The voices in my head contemplating. I hope you feel alone and your heart starts aching. Cause the creatures are waiting. Welcome in, how you been? Watch yourself. I got a creaky robot down to the left. From everybody that I used to love to death. So I hit all of the people like the rest. They're dead to me. Sometimes creepy crawlers come creeping out of my attic. Please I'm good looking up there. I don't mean to sound so dramatic, but I promise if you trust me I can make her not romantic. Got a candlelit dinner with some brain automatic. Damn. Shh. I think I heard something outside. Tell me if you heard it or am I losing my mind? Voices playing tricks on me every single night. You should come a little closer, baby. Promise I won't bite. Well, just a little bit, baby. I put these fake things on, count regular crazy. I'm not here to fall in love. It's not up for debating. You know, Diggy came for blood and you're all up in crazy. In the cemetery, dancing with the skeletons, feeling weary. Life is irrelevant, feeling scary. Death is so delicate and cold. You can catch me at the cemetery, dancing with the skeletons, feeling weary. Life is irrelevant, feeling scary. Death is so delicate and cold. I hope the creatures on the earth there feel the bell rocking. The voices in my head stop talking. I don't feel alone cause I know they're always watching. Yeah, you know they're always watching. Creatures on the earth that feel like shaking. The voices in my head contemplating. I hope you feel alone and your heart starts aching. Cause the creatures are waiting. Welcome to the late night circus where you could be a freak on purpose. Under the sheets, you know I'm lurking, you know me. Do you like what you see? Welcome to the late night circus where you could be a freak on purpose. Under the sheets, you know I'm lurking, you know me. Do you like what you see? I'm swing dancing with my demons, cause they the reason I've been living this nightmare with no trouble sleeping. And I ain't never trust nobody cause they end up bleeding. So I stay up late nights, you know I be creeping in the wicked deep rip rapping, tiptoeing in bloody boots. Cleaning up these murder tracks with logic, bleach and reaper too. Like a serial killer to the beat, I use Pro Tools. Mix it up and take a picture, lock it up and bounce too. Copy one for me and copy two for my broke ass. He lives in my home every cause he knows how to master. You will never meet him cause he just a ghost rapture. Of my better life that I've been yet to still capture. Welcome to the late night circus where you could be a freak on purpose. Under the sheets, you know I'm lurking, you know me. Do you like what you see? Do you like what you see? Welcome to the late night circus where you could be a freak on purpose. Under the sheets, you know I'm lurking, you know me. Do you like what you see? Welcome to the late night circus where you could be a freak on purpose. Under the sheets. Welcome to the late night circus, where you could be a freak on purpose. Under the sheets, you know I'm lurking, you know me. Do you like what you see? Welcome to the late night circus, where you could be a freak on purpose. Under the sheets, you know I'm lurking, you know me. Do you like what you see? Do you like what you see?
So, before we listen to the trial, let me tell you, I already listened to the trial. I had the kids here all day. I know I posted I'd be live between 2 and 3. However, I knew the kids right after I posted that I should have deleted it. I got busy, but I knew the kids were leaving tonight. So, they're going to their mothers. Pray for them. Shh, don't say I said that, but for real, pray for them. They'll be going for the weekend, and I get some quiet. I'm not going to have to keep going, jumping off. However, there's no trial on the weekends. We have two choices tonight. I want to go over the trial. Somebody said Killer's going over something. When I'm done here, we could go through the trial quickly. Excuse me, I'm smoking. Hold on. Let me put this out. I'm dying. That was rough. I got some shit that's choking me to death.
Oh, well, at least this one's comfortable.
Oh, your hat. Look at his hat.
Oh, God,
Look at his dumb hat. He's getting ready to go to work. Hey, Lady R, I wrote you back. I'm sorry about this morning.
I love you.
I love you too. Show them your dumb hat.
This is my hat. It's just a hat.
Tell them about the time you had to wear the yellow.
Oh, that yellow coat. Oh, yeah, that was horrible. That was for them to see where you are, not where.
Hold your badge out and go top flight.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
She's calling my job like, you know, she wants you gotta.
He said Jody Sue would be calling my job.
She said she has my job. I have your job.
Yeah, she said that one time online. I have your job.
She calling my job. Like, oh, there's some lady named Jody. She's calling her.
Top flight of the world, Greg. I'm kidding. He hates when I do that.
No, we got top flights though. Not this time though. I think they'll get fired.
He said, no, we got top flights though, not this time. He's only the supervisor. You call him what? Top cops.
Yeah, they go above and beyond for no damn reason.
I love you. Have a good night. I'm sorry, guys. He was leaving for work. I was jagging with him. Okay, so I watched trial today. Somebody just said Killer's live again. I'm on a thing here. Stormcat. Oh, hi, Stormcat. Does anyone here not smoke? Some don't. Some have been in here and said, I don't smoke, I get paranoid. You know what I do for them? I offer the drops under the tongue. Or gummy. I go to the dispensary, so I know all the good stuff. Them drops under your tongue are good. I like them better than smoking. You don't cough. It's on at 2:15. What is? Okay, so here's the thing. We got the weekend now, and I'm starting to do this live every day, and I'm starting to get used to it. I got to get a time. I got to get a time in my life that's good for me. This weekend, I'm good all weekend. There ain't a soul here. So, my daughter will be coming in, but she goes upstairs. She'll leave me alone. Killer, you want us to watch Killer? Because we could watch that and then watch the trial, or I could change my title after the live. We could do Summer, and I can come back tomorrow because it's Saturday and there is no trial, and we can go over the trial. And then Sunday, I can go over the whole week because I have a lot to say. You smoked for years in the military. Cool. Then no one here doesn't smoke. Okay, Tic Tac said Quinton. Oh, Killer's not till 2:15. Okay, I seen it and I hit a notification and I thought it was 2:15, but I thought you meant he was doing it now. So, okay. If you don't smoke, then yes, someone here doesn't. We're pretty chill here. Okay, so Quinton. We'll do Quinton then. Tic Tac wins. I wanted to do Quinton anyway because I want to get to the whole week. There was a lot this week. They didn't bring them emails in today. I thought that they would. So the prosecution closed, right? Are they going to use them during the defense? Oh, yeah, Leilani got mouthy. That's a lie. I did watch. I usually don't like watching it without you guys, but I couldn't not. The babysitter did a good job. She got slack. I can't blame people for giving her slack. She did what she did, and then she didn't call CPS, and she was like, oh, but they came to me, but that was months after. She spoke about that, but I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to attack her because her daughter did amazing yesterday, right? Today you heard them talk about the oldest daughter who was there that morning, which is why I was shocked when it was the younger daughter who got up on the stand this week. Yeah, the prosecution rested. They said, that's the prosecution's last witness. Yeah, she's a bitch, dude. She needs to shut the fuck up. They'll figure out if it's a lie or not. They had a lot of digital evidence today. I want to go over that because I feel like, what do you guys think of the fact that you don't see Leilani? I think the fact that Daniel's phone stayed at home. My dog's fucking howling because my husband left. Are you kidding me? Do you hear him? Wait, he quit. You hear him? Can you guys hear that? Is my microphone that good? Does somebody want to adopt him? My neighbors are going to set my house on fire. I'll be back. This dog got to be kidding me right now. He's howling like that, loud like that, doing his Jasper shit, right? I go to let him in, and he runs for me to the yard. He ran into a doghouse he doesn't even fucking fit in, and he hates the thing. He never goes in it. He's too big for it. We bought it, and he grew and grew and grew. So now we need a new one. He never used it. He just ran from me and hid in it. I come in, shut the door, and he's fucking howling again. So sorry, guys. You guys and the neighbors are gonna have to deal with it for a minute because I am in socks, not tennis shoes. I'm not running in the fucking mud to chase this dog. He's an asshole. I still love him, but he's an asshole, and he's gonna have my neighborhood hate me. Okay. Sorry. She can say that to her lawyer. I'm sure many defendants yeah, they do. I just hope he stops howling. Yes, except for he's a husky. What's that anime? My son used to watch it. It has that wolf thing, and my dog's beautiful. Like, he's beautiful, but he's such a pain in the ass. I wish he'd outgrow these things he does. I didn't research huskies. Before I got one, I didn't know how mouthy they were. I never would have got a fucking husky. My kids love him. I love him. He's so cuddly. He's like a teddy bear. I snuggle him at night. He's my pillow. He lays on top of me if I don't lay on him. We're best friends, but I hate the motherfucker at the same time when he does this shit. And I'm not chasing him tonight. He met my neighbors. I know they got me on camera. It's going to be on YouTube one day. The fat little girl next door, the fat short girl chasing the fucking husky as big as her in the yard, slipping and falling on my ass or something. That's why you moved out of town, because of a husky. I love him though. He's so cute when he does it in the house and I'm not busy. I'm not live. Like, I'll sit here. If I go open that door, he's going to fight me again. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave the door open, and maybe he'll come in the door. The kids are gone. I got peace and quiet. Didn't I just say that? I just told you all that, right? I'm sorry. I'll be back. I'm back. I'm out of breath. He's in the house. I had to tempt him with beef stew that was just about to go old. So I gave it to him. I got him to the door, but can you believe he was going to give the beef stew up? I had to snatch his ass. He just wants to sit in there and howl at the fucking skunk so they could spray him again. Whatever the fuck he's howling at out there. Sorry. We'll calm down. I'm sorry. Earl, if you're out there listening, your dog's going to the pound. Okay. Hold on, let me catch my breath. Let me take a drink of water. I'll be right back. All right. I apologize. Where were we? All dogs need to take them down a notch. Yeah. They need a lot of exercise, and that's the thing. We don't have the time. All these people lived in my house, wanted the fucking dog. Promised. We'll walk them. We'll feed them. Do you think that's happening? My husband walks them. When he takes the kid to school, that they don't take to school, they'll pick her up. But don't nobody want to get up in the mornings. All right. I'm going to quit bitching. Because I'll sit here and go on and on and on. Okay, so where were we? We were talking about the babysitter, right? Is that where we were at? And I need a fucking cigarette, even if I can't breathe. I'm so sorry about all that. I can't believe Ian's heard him through here. He is so loud for no reason. No, he's eating a container. I'm letting him. No, I'm not. He'll drive me crazy. One more time. If he starts messing with them cats, he's going back outside. I'm done. Oh, thank you, Lady R. I'm sorry. Okay, we're done. He can do whatever now. Back to, let me scroll up. Oh, probably. No, that was about the dog. Fuck. We're done with the dog. He could stay in the kitchen. When they came into court, what were we talking about? Damn it, I'm trying to catch up. Just talk about whatever. The babysitter. What did you think of her testimony? How about if we just watch it and go through it like we normally do? We'll do that. I'll mute it like I do on a summer night. Have you all seen it? Is there anybody here who has not watched it? That's how I'll decide. HWR getting in trouble. Hey, I clicked on Josh real quick. Did y'all see there's another lawsuit? I'm so glad I did not cover Sebastian. So glad. I pray Sebastian's found, but I am so glad I did not cover that case. What? Watch what? On the lab, he just read a lawsuit the dog's filing against with Blowhorn. That other guy who's the attorney over there, I guess the pro bono guy. I haven't even paid attention to that case. Dude, don't you even think about it. He was messing with my plant. That's crazy. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, Granny's watching. But Josh was over there doxing them, giving them their real names. Not really doxing. It's public information. I don't know. But I didn't know these two creators from Pittsburgh. So thanks, Josh, because now what I'm going to do is go look them up and hope one of them's Trixie. I don't know. And it's big, like Rico big. Yeah, that's what Josh is saying. I don't know if they'll win, though. Because here's the situation. They also have protections of order against them with with Katie and Chris. So an attorney, if they get good attorneys, probably could fight that. Like big time. Defamation lawsuits are very hard to win. And that's a real lawsuit. My shit was bullshit. You see that? Whatever, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't even know what's happening. I might have already lost my fucking house. I don't care. It'll force my kids to move the fuck out. I'm kidding. For real, though. How about we not talk lawsuits? Billy is a liar about payment. Yeah, yo. I meant to say that after we watched Danny. Danny stated that. Did you hear that he said that he and Leilani had been paying the babysitter? But that's so strange to me, because didn't all right, y'all. Do you want to watch the trial? Or do you want to go watch Ziggy's interview with the babysitter first and then watch the babysitter? That's up to you guys. All right, Holler, hurry back. Like I said, I got all weekend. We could watch it all. Ziggy's interview. Okay. We could do that. I just seen it the other day, too. You've never seen it? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened. Okay, hold on. Dude, and it's sad because those were her, like, she needs charges pressed on her, in my opinion. You took them through a state entity. It wasn't through court. The state took them babies from Leilani for their safety. In my opinion, honestly, in my own opinion, this is my opinion, I think she should have been arrested for manslaughter. I don't know. Okay. Where was I going? Ziggy. Now the dog's sitting behind me crying. I'm happy we're putting something on. Jesus. I mean, shit, Ziggy ain't covering it. I don't know why she ain't.
Adrian. Are you able to talk or?
Yes, I can for a few minutes.
Oh, okay, because I'm sure you're busy. I can call you back if you.
It's okay. We can go ahead and talk.
Okay. I was waiting for this press conference. I thought that he was going to give an update, but I didn't.
No one has gave us an update. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, well, there was supposed to be a conference or an update at 10, and there was nothing. He didn't even say anything. He talked about.
I know.
So I'm super confused. I didn't even hear him mention Quinton. So, but yeah, I have a YouTube channel, and I really started my channel with the Summer Wells case. I went on there just to talk with other people who with similar interests, and it kind of just took off from there. And so yeah, we started going over Quinton yesterday, or yeah, he went missing yesterday, right? No, it was
Monday. Wait, I'm sorry.
Wednesday. Yeah.
It was Wednesday.
Yeah, and you were has she, and any question you can't, I don't know if there's any you can't answer or whatever, and anytime you need to go, it's okay. And because I'm sure you're like so busy. I'm sure everybody's trying to talk to you, huh?
Ma'am?
Huh?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I said I'm sure everybody's trying to talk to you, huh?
Yes, but yesterday a lot of people are saying, and it really, really got to me, is you're just a babysitter. No, I wasn't. I had him all the time. We love him very much. We love him.
Yeah.
He never wanted to go home. He cried. And I usually kept him overnight even. I didn't keep him that night because we were supposed to go to our church and get a lot of books. Our school and our church had closed. And we was getting books, and, we were going to be busy, and I didn't want not to be able to watch him.
Right.
So I sent him home and told him, he would be back tomorrow. I get a call. I was up at 5 o'clock waiting on them. Mm-hmm. I get a text at 5:29 saying from Danny that he was not coming.
From Danny, okay.
Which is the stepfather.
Right, or yeah, or whatever he is. Yeah, the boyfriend.
Yeah, whatever he is, yes. So I said, okay. I thought it was unusual because he said, Leilani was up with them. Leilani's never up with them.
Wow, okay. And yeah, I see, that's what was confusing. Some people said, I've read some places that it was a text, and some places it was a call from, I thought it was from Liliani. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but
Leilani.
But it was Lilani.
Uh-huh.
But it was actually Danny who.
Yeah, it was Danny who texted me.
Is that happened before?
Yes, he texted me before because honestly, the last few weeks he has stepped up more than her, taking care of all three of these kids. I've never been gave diapers, anything that they needed except for by their grandmother. Their grandmother did when she was home and she wasn't out of town. I could call her for what they needed, but Leilani never sent me anything for these kids. The last couple weeks, Danny has stepped up and said, Miss Michelle, tell me what you need. Have I sent you everything I need? Like, it seemed like he was trying more. I'm sorry, my grandson's crying.
No, you're fine. I appreciate you talking to me. Let me take a minute.
Eve Online on Mac immerses you in a universe with.
Okay, you can go ahead.
No, and nobody should be saying, no, you're just a babysitter. You are, seriously, I want to talk to you more than I do anybody else because you're going to be not as biased. Like, the mom does seem like she's trying to be honest because she's even saying that, she feels like her own daughter could be, it sounds like she thinks that she could be responsible, right?
Right.
That's what it seems like. So have you So was it, had Lily, had she ever, was it normal for her to text or for them to text and say they're not coming today?
Not so much. I mean, they have before, but they usually want me to have them. Even if she is off, I have them. She lives like 2 houses down on the other side from me, and I would have her kids, and she'd be off on the front porch smoking. When she see us drive by, she would run into the house. So she wanted us to have them. Now, the same day at 9 o'clock in the morning that he disappears, I get a text from Danny asking me, have I seen Quinton? We call him Monkey. I've always called him Monkey.
Wow.
That's what the,
the little, oh my gosh, why can't I think, Michael, a little boy that's missing, been missing for almost a year now. That's what his nickname is Monkey. Wow.
But we went over there after he had texted me, and I didn't. I called him and I said, what do you mean?
Right.
And he said, Quinton is missing. And I said, I'm on my way. And so I went over there, and we got out. Me and my oldest daughter got out. That lives with me. My other daughter doesn't live with me anymore. She's grown. My 17-year-old got out, and we said, okay, he's a kid. Maybe he got into a closet or a cabinet. Let us go in. And I cleaned Billy Joe's house for her. They totally trust me. And he says, no, we've already looked for him. She's already looked for him. Well, it can't help to look again.
Right.
They wouldn't let me or my daughter in. So I was fixing to leave and call Billy Joe. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And then I was going to call the police. But before I could get in my truck, the police are stacking up behind my car.
Oh, wow. And
I couldn't get out. And I took Zane home with me because Leilani, all she was doing was smoking a back-to-back cigarette, not looking for the baby. It was just a feeling I got from her and Danny.
Was she crying at all? Did she seem like?
She was crying, but she would stop crying. She was crying, and then she would stop and smoke a cigarette. Like, how do you turn your tears on and off? Right. What in the hell are you doing smoking a cigarette? Your baby is missing.
Right. Oh my gosh. And so soon after, you need to, something, it sounds like, I don't know. I think it sounds like they're covering up something that happened. Maybe she lost her temper. Do you know if she has a temper, or have you noticed signs of abuse or anything?
I noticed that she's not good to her kids, and if she doesn't get what she wants, I know that they would leave 20 times a day to go to this house down here that is a known drug house down here. It's probably her friend. I'm just telling you, she did not care about her kids.
Right.
Danny acted like he cared more about the kids than she did, but he still didn't do everything right.
Yeah. Do you think that he would cover for her?
I think that Leilani is a manipulator and a pathological liar, and I think that he would. I think that she manipulates people very easily.
Okay. Because, I don't know. If both of them know, which I'm guessing they do, which would hopefully be the better situation, because hopefully he breaks, or some people are thinking like he was responsible, but I don't know. I don't know him, but I get more, my feeling is it has the mom. I don't know. First time I saw her, I was like, Casey Anthony. First thing, as soon, that was my first thought. And I didn't even read the story, and I just immediately thought Casey Anthony. I don't know if it was just because they're young and, or what, but I don't know. This is so you've been watching him for the last 6 months, every week, right?
Well, I've actually been watching him. I was so nervous that day, and I was so distraught over that. I've actually been keeping them for 10 months, but now when I first started keeping them, it was like on and off. I would have them maybe one day a week or something like that. But steady keeping them all the time has been the last 6 months.
And how did you meet her? Or how do you know her? Just from the neighborhood?
No, I went to church with a wonderful lady that is the lady, the step-grandfather, the one that's married to Leilani's mother, his sister. I went to church with her. She's a wonderful lady. Tommy, I don't know him personally, but I know his family. He comes from a good family. I know his mother.
Billy's husband?
Billy's husband,
yeah.
Yes.
It's Tommy? Okay.
Yep. They're good people. Now, I got a call from Sandra one day and said, my husband's wife's daughter needs a babysitter, and she knew how much I love kids. She said, do you think you could help out? I said, absolutely. And that's how I met them. I knew nothing of Billy Joe or Leilani.
Do they pay you, or?
They paid me, but I only charged them $15 for the 2 little boys a piece. I didn't even charge them for Sky because they were having a hard time. And then when I realized and I started seeing and I started opening my eyes, I had texted him and I said, I'm going to start charging for Sky, because they would pay me and literally turn around and say, Sky has no milk. Can you please loan me this much money to get her milk, and I'll give it back to you.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they were on WIC. See, all this stuff, I didn't know all this stuff. I just learned a lot of this stuff.
Right. Wow. And so you said $50 or?
No, 15.
15, like a day, just a day?
A day.
Wow, that's not very much for both of them, or for all of them, really?
No, I charged 15 a piece for the boys, so it was $30 a day for the 2 boys.
Yeah, not that it's important. It's just that I didn't imagine that she had very much money or anything, so I was wondering how that went, or if she had some type of, sometimes there's some state funding that will help pay for.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So. Okay. I know you probably have to go in a second. I don't want to keep.
I'm fine. It's fine.
Just, don't. Anytime you need to go, don't. I know your life is so hectic right now. I can't even imagine. And I'm like, I wish I would have written down the questions I want to ask, because now I'm like, oh gosh, there's gonna be something I want to ask, and I'm gonna forget.
Right.
So, okay. So you've been watching her every day. Have you noticed any like bruises or anything like that? Because there's a babysitter I was reading, a lady that claims that she used to babysit for Zane, who said that he used to always show up with bruises and
yes,
horrible.
They did have bruises. Quinton had bruises. I actually sent his grandma pictures of the bruises. This was a couple days before all this happened.
Wow, really?
Yes, he did have bruises on his neck. It was told to my daughter a few months ago by Leilani that I knew that Zane, the 4-year-old, was her favorite. You could tell.
Okay.
And she told my daughter that she didn't bond with Quinton. She bonded with Zane, that Zane had been through everything with her. Everybody that knew her knew for Quinton was her least favorite. Well,
really?
I don't know how you have, oh, yeah. I don't know how you have favorite kids.
Mm-hmm.
Bite me!
What was that you said?
I said, I don't know how any mother has favorites with
I know.
kids.
Oh my gosh, that's my biggest pet peeve, because my mom was like that. Yeah, it's my biggest pet peeve. She had, of course, I was the least favorite. So, of course, I am a big advocate. It's really important never to.
I was looking for that clip. I thought she said it in Summer's case when she talked about her family. There was another one. I was looking for that clip while I was doxing my freaking dad. Damn it. Oh well. Okay. Back to the babysitter.
And if you do have a favorite, make sure never shows, because it really affects the kid's life. Really, I mean, it's horrible. You don't have favorites. I mean, I don't agree with that either, but I was going to ask you that, if it seemed like she was different towards Quinton. And was he easy baby, or was he difficult?
He was an easy baby. He was happy. He was just always smiling. He was the type of kid, he smiled with his eyes.
Oh,
And it's just the cutest thing.
what about postpartum? Do you think that's possible that she's going through postpartum due to the baby?
I had postpartum. I have 6 kids. My oldest is 25, and he's a cop in Florida. I had postpartum with my second child. And no, you have these emotions, but never did I have the emotion to hurt my kids. Now, she's been like this with all of them. So if she tries to use that, and hopefully she don't, she's been like this with her other kid as well. So she can't use that.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody, I mean, nobody is saying anything good about her. Like, not even her own mother, really. I mean,
Now, did you see that one post? What was it, Melissa? What did she say? That Leilani's heartbroken, and for people to leave her alone.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's not heartbroken. When she got out of jail, why didn't she come and start looking for him? Why didn't she talk to the news people and the public and beg?
Or is she still being held, or?
No, she's home, and they were actually they were fighting. Like the news people picked it up. They were fighting. Leilani was screaming. I don't know where he is, and I don't know who was asking her, but someone was asking her in her family where he was, and she was screaming, I don't know where he is.
Oh, because you could hear it?
Oh, yeah, you could hear it all the way down the road.
You witnessed it yourself? Wow. And were the cops, I mean, is your road, like, filled with cops still? I mean, are they?
No.
So have they been out there searching? Because I remember the grandmother yesterday was saying, like, where are nobody's doing anything.
No. They were supposed to start at daybreak yesterday. No one, the FBI and them didn't show up until about 9, and it was only a handful of them. There has been no cops here, no nothing.
So did you see Danny home too?
Yes, he was home. He's home.
Oh, so is he over there with her?
They're home. The brother's home too.
So they both live over there. Is she even allowed to? Well, first, how long have they been home? Do you know?
Yesterday sometime, I think maybe around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Wow. I'm not really sure about that time, but I know it was before 2.
Wow. So they're still over there? They haven't even been brought back for questioning? Because
I don't.
Wow. The way people were talking on Facebook, I thought that she was being held for like 48 hours. Dang.
No, she's home. She got home yesterday.
Wow. Shit. I was trying to write down questions as I go, because I was about to ask you something, and then I freaking forgot, because I didn't want to forget to ask you when she got home. But okay, so you think they got home yesterday morning, and everybody talks about how much of a liar she is. Let me think, what else? She's 22. All her kids are different dads, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's crazy for 22. Man, that just bothers me. I mean, I just hate that, because I'm all about, like, women being independent, and that's just she's so young,
Yes.
Have you seen her does it seem like she's using drugs or substances? Like,
well, I can tell you this. She came over one day, and she was flying. Like, when I tell you she was flying, she was on something, so she was spinning around in our living room and had her hands out and her head up to the sky.
Whoa, so she was literally flying, like, almost.
Literally flying.
So, like, spinning, like, just being silly, or,
No, like being, ridiculous, and she was high on something. You can tell when she's on something. I can tell when she is on something, her eyes totally change, and then when she's not. When she's not, it seems like she's in a really bad mood.
So when she is on something, is her do you notice like does it seem like you said she seems like speedy, or is she one
Oh yeah, she goes 100 miles a minute talking. Like it's bad.
Because I don't know. Somebody said something about her. You know, she used the other babysitter that used to, or the lady that claimed that she babysit Zane, said that she used to nod out well. So I didn't know if I'm trying to see what her drug of choice is. Nodding out, I would think opiates, but when people first take pills or opiates, it does make them kind of speedy. So I don't know.
Well, I think that she stays up all night and then she sleeps all day. That's why she can't take care of her kids.
Wow, I wonder. So something happened when she was up all night with or something. Maybe.
Now this is my theory, and I don't know for sure. I think that something happened that night, and they text me because they know that I'm going to be like, well, I'll come over there and get them if you want me to. Like I did that before, like an hour or two later, I'll say, well, because they've been out on the road before playing by themselves and me and my daughter had to get them. So I'd be like, well, I'll go over there and get them in an hour or two if you want me to, because I knew it wasn't a good situation. But they probably text me that because they knew in a little bit I would be texting, can I go ahead and get them?
Wow. Yeah.
This AI tool will take your idea and create a complete book, complete with design, images.
I think that you're like one of the, I think that you're very important to this case. And have you talked to law enforcement? I mean, obviously you've talked to law enforcement, I'm sure, right?
Yes, they've come and checked my cameras. I sent them the text where, they had texted me. I have cameras all around my house. And my camera does show their house, but my camera is set up through Brinks. And what does is it's got to be like 50 feet, something getting close to your yard within 50 feet, my cameras go off.
Dang. What about that one? I saw a still shot of a truck out. Has anybody found out where that came from and whose camera? And been able to get a hold of that neighbor? Because it looks like their camera was pointing straight at that Billy and Tommy's house.
I'm pretty sure that was my camera.
Okay.
I let the FBI come in and check it, but because there wasn't no, it wouldn't show.
Right. So you just had that picture because the truck set it off, and the truck that was. So you saw that truck with the trailer that was supposedly out there. I think that there was like an older truck or something. Was she even allowed to be around the kids alone?
Now, I'm not sure on that. I know her mother had custody of the kids.
She got them taken away.
Yes. So I don't know, but if your kids get taken away and give someone else, I really don't think you should be around them.
Right, not alone. I would think that would be a rule, and that's what I'm worried about. Now, a lot of people.
So she. Okay, here we go. We want to get the testimony. I guess we're going to be busy this weekend. She did some Facebooks. I think I'm rolling one. I think I have them. I don't want to disrupt this. I want to stay on task tonight. But I think I have them. I'm going to look for them. While we're listening to this. So if I disappear, not right, how much time? Yeah, we got plenty of time. All right, you guys go ahead. Just listen. I'm going to pull those up, but I want to listen to her on the stand. So after Ziggy's, we're going to listen to the stand, and then we'll decide where the hell we're going from there. I want to listen to the rest of the testimony too. Definitely. And I need some time this weekend to go over some of the testimony from some of the people this week. I want to go over Danny's. I want to go over that lady that One that used to work for the FBI but now works for Savannah. I forget her name. It was, they said it. I hear crying somewhere, and there's no babies in this house. It has to be that freaking dog or a cat. I'm not doing it. Oh, Ranger's upstairs. I gotta go let him out. That's right. Oops. I'm babysitting my daughter's dog. I'll do that while yins are listening. But the question was, when did she lose custody of the kids? So she went to North Carolina to meet Danny, and I think that it was around that time that she lost custody of the kids. And then she meets Danny and comes back very quickly, 4 months pregnant, to Savannah. I think it was like around February that when Diana would have started babysitting. January, February, it was around that time. Close enough to set it on. Yeah. Dude, I remember the camera they showed today, the one on the trailer across. I was hoping, because I don't even know why they brought it into play. Maybe because it was in the media and on Facebook. There was a camera in Azalea that didn't work. Did you guys catch that? That was a big thing. Everybody was like, oh, there's a camera right there. But if the prosecution did rest today, because he was like, we only have 2 witnesses left, right? Maybe they didn't. I'm going to have to look. I wasn't really paying attention today like I should have been. I was listening, but not. I was in there when Cher came in there. But all right. So I'm guessing Quinton didn't bring enough money. Yeah, right. Cursed. I don't know. I'm not going to shit talk her while I have this video playing. We'll let it go. It's nice. She's not covering it, so I'm going to listen to it. That isn't what this is about, but I did find the clip I was looking for. I can't believe it was in here. Yeah, abandoned her children, and Billy just went to DHS to get the children to give them back to Leilani. She didn't fucking care about them neither, in my opinion. Do I feel bad for her now? Yeah. Do I think she has regrets? Absolutely. What mother wouldn't? But she did this once before. She's been through a trial. And it was pretty highly publicized in their area. Not one that made national like Quinton, but in their area, a lot of people knew about it. There was people on Facebook leaving comments like, I knew them people, we found the body. There was somebody on her. Man, I talked to so many people in these cases. I can't remember sometimes. Was it a comment or did I talk to somebody? I don't even feel like going to look neither. But I think it was a comment. Somebody said that their sister or somebody found that for Nathan Quinton Bitterton's, just a lot. Elaborate, please. What do you mean, cursed? I shared it the other day. I read it. I'll go get it. Hold on. Only because I already had it up. That's easy. Let me take some water. Uh, 9/15, 2011, because that's what's in the search bar. SavannahNow.com news, 2011, 9/15. 3 teenagers charged murder Pooler. That's right, it was in Pooler, Georgia. Okay. Three teenagers have been charged with murdering a 27-year-old Pooler man last week. 2 16-year-old boys were charged Thursday with the murder of Timothy Moore, who was found September 6th in the woods just off of Garden Acres mobile home located on South Rogers Street near Tooten Drive. Nathaniel Quinton Betterton, 17, was charged with murder on Monday. All 3 men have also been charged with armed robbery. Betterton is being held at the Chatham County Jail without bond. The 16-year-olds are being held at the Savannah Regional Youth Detention Center. Pooler Police Chief Mark Revenue said police won't release the names of the 16-year-olds until they are indicted. He expects them to be charged as adults. Revenue also isn't releasing any information on motive for the crime, but said the 3 teens knew Moore, whom police believe was shot to death about dusk September 5th. This wasn't a random crime, Revenue said. There's no reason for people to feel unsafe. Moore lived in a home next to Garden Acres, Revenue said, and Betterton lives in a trailer park. Jessica Hobby, a 27-year-old Garden Acres resident, found Moore's body as she was walking in the woods with her sister, Catherine Lambert. Yeah, one of these people were on Facebook talking about this right after Quinton. Catherine Lambert, 29, the woman had brought their sons, ages 1 and 3, on a walk down a nature trail searching for bugs and spiders. Things little boys like. When Hobby spotted the body, the sisters scooped up their sons and ran. Afraid whoever killed Moore was still in the woods. He'd been dead for several hours. Hobby said she's relieved arrests were made in the case, but still is unsettled. So are other families. She said neighborhood kids have forts and tree houses in the woods, and we used to play there every day after school since it happened. Oops, hold on. Since it happened, it's been eerily quiet, Hobby said. No one wants to let their kids out of their sight anymore. Hobby and Lambert said the idea that the boys so young, just 16 and 17, could murder someone is frightening and sad. But they hope Moore's family gets justice. Nobody needs to die in the woods by themselves, Lambert said. And it looks like there was more to this, but I don't have the more. I got this, I'm betting, off of Facebook and just put it. Oh, damn it, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Okay. I'm betting I just got it off of Facebook and didn't have the whole thing. Did it? I don't remember what Billy's was. I know she had, oh yeah, she had been in jail for drugs. I don't think it was anything, I don't think it was prison, was it? She had a few things too. Drugs. She was really addicted. And you heard Leilani say that Billy OD'd in front of her. Like I said, this is a whole sad ass situation. The whole thing is sad. I do have sympathy for Billy, but I don't like how they grifted. I also think that and this is probably fucking killing her, that she has two. Listen, that's fucked up when your kid does something like that, okay? That's fucked up. What is that noise? Somebody must have Halloween decorations up. That's probably what it is. Yeah, because the dog's behind me. Jesus. It's Halloween decorations, I bet. Okay. Anyways. Damn it. Oh, my neighbor's having a fire. There you go. It's probably music. It sounds like ghosts and shit. I don't fucking know. I'm all alone. It gets scary. Okay, so you have one kid. Like, I have a brother who at 15 years old did something similar. A very, very, very awful crime. At 15, it was because of lack of parental guidance. I'll get into it again one night with you. I don't want to make this about me. Okay, but that was the cause of him doing what he did. And they accused him of being the ringleader, even though he was the youngest in the group. He was only 15. The rest were all 20, 17. My brother was considered the ringleader because they all planned it in my mother's home. Okay, so you have a kid that does something like that. It fucks a mom up, like it fucked my mom up. My mom was beat up by this guy, Phil. He threw her out of the fucking car. She goes to the hospital, finds out that she has 8 fucking brain tumors, but it stems from lung cancer, right? It's like magic money to her. She took it as, she was so fucked up, dude. She sobered up. Her whole life, the last 9 years of her life, she lived sober. I'm so proud of her for that, you know? But she would sell her medicine to pay for my brother's attorney, and it was just a criminal cycle. And she sobered up, and I think that helped my brother when he got out. Billy did not completely sober up. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? And then your daughters see that. You know how, it's my opinion. This is just my opinion and speculating. How I say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I feel like Billy manipulated her children, did whatever she could, and felt bad because of her son. And maybe she was trying to make it up with Leilani, but didn't know how to. She's snapastic. Danny said when she would go to work, Leilani didn't always go to work. Oh, yeah, the babysitter said she slept all day, too. Mm-hmm. I think, is Lady R behind a little bit? I'm confused. I'm talking about Billy, Lady R, not Leilani and Danny. I'm going to save that. Billy did have to work, but she also had to make sure there shouldn't have been a babysitter. If she only had them kids for 9 months, Thomas was making enough money at $40 an hour. He had to have been making probably even more than that. They might have been paid salary because that job she had, it was like putting in the pipes of the oil pipelines that all the politicians fight over. She had like an amazing ass fucking job. And he did the same thing. There's no excuse for no furniture throughout that house. There's no excuse for them babies to not, if they were going to be at that babysitter all the time the way they were 5 days a week, she should have provided a dresser with clothing. They should have gave more than half of the WIC because the babies would only be home at night. I have my grandson. My grandson's 10 months old. During the night, he's sleeping through the night. He's sleeping through the night. There should have been 2 bottles given at night, if that. Quinton was 20 months old. She should have made sure. That's like a problem I have with my, I guess now ex daughter. I don't know what the fuck she is. Son's baby mama. Okay? That was always a problem I had with her because she'd be packing a diaper bag with nothing in it. Like nothing. She'd give you a onesie that didn't fit the kid, a diaper that was from 2 years ago. Like she didn't even pack the diaper bag. Like it was just like sitting there. And I used to get pissed about that. Like I'd have to sit down with her and teach her how to pack a fucking diaper bag. So mad she got them kids right now, but I needed the break. Little Dev up all night, and there really ain't nothing I can do because there's no custody. I keep telling my son to go down and file for custody. He don't want to. I think he thinks this girl's coming back to him. Well, I got sad news for him. That bitch ain't coming back to my house. Okay. The crash from... Yeah, no, I know, not me. I was just throwing my shit into it. You know what I mean? Like, you sit there, you think about it like these moms that don't... She wasn't sending shit to the babysitter. Billy wasn't sending shit. And then it was... Billy had the response, listen, you're leaving to work to provide for children, right? That you told the state you would be responsible for, right? Reminds me of a mama I know that irritates the shit out of me. Learn to pack a bag. Dang. Right. Dude, I had a bag packed. My purse was packed. I had what's the things that mamas always carry in their purse? Crackers, cookies. You always got some shit, the little tipsy turvy bowl with the grapes and like it's ridiculous. But it makes me mad that you knew that that baby was going to live there from 6:30 in the morning till 5:30 in the evening every single day. And you, Billy Joe, didn't provide the essentials. It was not Leilani's job. Leilani was being sued for child support, right? So how does that even happen when she's living in your home? That means the state didn't know she was there. That's what that means. It means y'all was trying to finesse a little money on the side. You was ripping that government off. Straight, right, left, any way you could get it from. Foster care, food stamps, child support. In Pennsylvania, and I'm sure it's the same way everywhere, you don't get food stamps if you don't file for child support. It's a payback. The system then keeps your cash. I don't get food stamps. My husband makes too much, but my daughter-in-law did. Same everywhere. Yep. They was ripping the system off. That's why Billy isn't going up on a stand. She can't even be a credible witness to testify on her daughter's behalf to save her. I'm so glad I hope my daughter never has. She's not ready. She wants to go to college. She works. She does things. I'm happy for that. She better fucking be on birth control. She better be taking them. She's not ready for her kid. You know, when your kids are ready, like my son, he's not ready for kids. That's what this whole girlfriend shit's been a fight. He's 25 since he was 16. I've never liked the fucking girl, okay? But you have to when your kid, like she was living here, and I did like her. I did like her to a point. I bought her a Cricket. You know what? We're not even going to go there. She couldn't even be a good mother to a kid that she was getting paid to have. Right. She wasn't turning in her income. She was collecting foster care money. She needed food stamps because she was being sued for child support by the state and by DHS. I have the papers. But see, she see you be a mom and grandmom, she will be a great mom. Yeah, maybe when it's her own. She's only 19. I'm not ready. And I think she needs to wait till she's 30 bazillion. She's selfish. You know what I mean? I feel like my daughter's too selfish to be a mom. She wants the expensive makeup. Like, come on, man. I bought a Fenty highlighter. I don't wear makeup often. Sometimes I like to put it on and I like good makeup. So I save up for it and I order it and I got the Fenty shit, you know? That shit was like 65 fucking dollars. She's in on my makeup like, you're black, girl. You're fucking black. She's like, I can mix it with this and make it darker and it'll be good and it'll give us. If you don't put my fucking makeup down. Yeah, she does have plenty of time. It's sad Billy knows her daughter. She knew what, in my opinion, was happening in her home. And if she didn't, she more obviously wasn't there with the kids and she was never there. She went along about her day. They bought the trailer. When they went together, they took the trailer with them. They slept in it on a job. They'd sometimes work jobs together, sometimes not. I believe they worked for the same company. They had, and there's fucking voices over there like, oh, they're so poor, they can't afford anything. Feel bad for them. They wasn't paying shit for them kids. She was evicting them. She wanted child support. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Greed is greed. Crooked is crooked. Ripping the system off is ripping the system off. And she just got busted in a badass way. And it could be, I was thinking about that. It could be that they are waiting to file charges on her till after this. And she's going to be hit with a shit ton of IRS tax. They're probably going to look into so much shit of her. And she's probably going to be hit with a shit ton of fucking fraud. They'll catch up to her ass. It's all out in the open now. Yes, Lady R, and I think they will. Not at all. Oh, we were going over the brother. But you have a brother, you have a first son that already fucked up. You went through trial. You think that that would make you want to sober up and be there for your daughter, your other son. It saddens me to see. I feel bad for Paul. I hope he don't go commit no crime. I don't think he will. I hope he'll learn from this because everybody's clowning him, right? I hope he'll learn some manners from this and grow up to be and do great things. His brother Michael's not a stupid guy. He's smart. He got a beautiful family. I've seen pictures of him. I've looked him up. He doesn't even live in the same state. He doesn't have contact with his father, or he was only talking to Bill. I don't think they were close, in my opinion. And we need to listen to that too. Leilani is responsible for what she did, but so should Billy be. 100%. In my opinion, she should have a lesser charge. Them babies were left in her care. She used them as a fucking cash cow and made her grandbabies and kids' lives miserable, in my opinion. And Leilani did the same. Any man in that house dealing with a female on their periods, imagine what that would have been like. You see how Leilani was going off on in the police interview? I couldn't imagine living in that house. Danny just met her, got her pregnant, moved down here, raising her kids. You hear, oh, that's what I was saying earlier before the dog interrupted me. The babysitter saying that Quinton didn't want to go with Leilani. He would only want to go with Danny. You hear other people say that. You hear, who was it? Was it Paul that said he would be in when they were fighting? Leilani would get upset and they would fight more. Quinton would be in. Who said that? Oh, maybe it was the babysitter's daughter. That the baby would be in the crib going, Danny, Danny. I've not heard one person say that they seen or heard Danny be mean or abusive to them babies. I've not heard one character assassination of Danny on that stand. The boss came up. He liked Danny so much he even mailed the jacket and pack of cigarettes at his own expense back and felt bad. Then came on to testify. Yeah, Paul said that about Danny. That's what I thought. That's what I said at first. But what pisses me off is Paul did get on there and talk shit on him. That's what I mean. You seen these people. You ain't seen Danny's family come online and talk shit on Leilani. You ain't seen them come online and talk shit about Billy. You've not even seen them respond to them publicly. But there's Cher over there going, Danny, Danny. Now I'm hearing Jenkins is doing it. I don't understand. Are you not looking at the evidence? Are you not seeing it? Here's what's nice about this. We all see it on the outside and from these people that don't understand. Okay? We see it from here. But here's the good thing. The jurors don't. They only see it in a courtroom. They see what they see. Right? They're hearing the testimony. They're hearing all them people talk good about Danny and they're not seeing what the fuck y'all are doing. So when the verdict comes in at the end of this and Leilani is sentenced, yins are all going to eat soap. Hey, Suzette, how are you tonight? Do you think that chick lied about seeing Leilani and Danny at a party? What chick? Obviously, all the evidence shows that they were never at a party. They show you the movements, how Danny's phone was pinging. That's just internet speculation. Oh, the seance lady, did she say she seen him at a party? Yeah, she was out there. That was a big mistake. They shouldn't even have put her ass on a stand. I don't even know why she did. She was a neighbor. Oh, I do know why. Because that's how she met. She met Quinton's dad at that. She was with Quinton's dad. She met not Quinton, Zane's. Damn it, Cody. Sorry. Yeah, that psychic lady was freaking insane. At first, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is good. This is good." Ask my chat. Then all of a sudden, that came up, and I'm like, "Well, that went south real quick." Like, what? What does Lady R say? The judge looked like she needed a bath in holy water. She's like, "Okay, break time. That was enough." That's the craziest witness I ever seen on stand, for real. She was killing it, then she wasn't. Yep. What are those? Do you remember them before TikTok came out? Vines. Remember the vines with the gangster, like the cats would do something real bad? Oh my God. Okay, let's get back to Ziggy's interview. I got a lot of Diana stuff we could look into. I'm almost positive I have her TikToks. I have to look. But listen, we're sitting here and we're a little aggravated at some things she did during Quinton's case, right? But I apologize for all that. I'm no longer aggravated with you. I think you did a wonderful job today on the stand. Your daughter did amazing. And I think that that's going to help put Leilani's ass behind them bars till she meets the devil. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go put this back on.
People are blaming the grandmother, and right now, I'm sure already that she's already freaking so upset with herself, and already having guilt, because I really truly I believe that her daughter was not supposed to be around the baby alone, and I think that Billy, or I think it's just Billy that has custody, not his stepdad.
It's just her.
Yeah. She's probably going to get in some kind of, she might be charged with neglect or something, I'm guessing.
Right.
Because she's not supposed, I don't even know if she would be allowed, at the very least, the grandmother would have to be there. She can't just take off for weeks at a time. And I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Do they call it DCS down there, or DHS, or is it DHS?
Yes.
So DHS isn't going to just like, you don't get your kid taken away and then, have them give it, given to your parents, and then, oh, I'll just move in with my parents, and, they're not there most of the time anyways. It sounds like, I don't know. I don't think that, I'm afraid that Billy is probably going to be in some trouble, and I think that I worry because I think she's going to be hard on her, because if it wasn't for her leaving the baby alone, with her when she wasn't, I don't think was supposed to be.
Right.
So, but you said overall you think Billy seems like a good person.
Well, and I don't know them. I've learned a lot of things in the last few days that I didn't even know. I mean, people change, people do things in their past, and hopefully they learn from them.
Right.
But there's so much, I feel so overwhelmed with what I've learned. Like, I don't even know who to believe and what to think about any of them at this point right now.
Right, because some people are thinking Billy might. I don't think.
Well, no, I think it's just because she should not have let around her. Now, my phone has a few texts on it, but some of my messages got erased. Billy, if they check her phone, the cops can see how many times I have texted her about these children, or texted her, please call me, because things were happening that I've seen.
Yeah,
so,
and you would talk to Billy about your concerns about.
Yes, absolutely.
And it sounds like, do you know what caused the eviction on September 9th? for the.
Yeah, they were fighting over Leilani just being nasty to her, and Leilani is a very lazy person. Anyone that sees it knows she's very lazy, and she wouldn't, her mom did come home out the road and like bleach her carpets, clean everything, make sure everything was clean for the kids, make sure they was clean, and Leilani wouldn't help, and she wouldn't get her clothes out the dryer. So I think it was a lot of things of her not taking care of the kids and the house that just made Billy Joe angry, and Leilani, I think, hit her or lunged at her, and then it just got bad, so Billy Joe just called the police.
Yeah, and I guess it said in the report or the eviction that she filed that they would argue all the time, or that Danny and Liliani would argue all the time or something.
Yes.
Have you heard them arguing?
I've never heard him. I know what Billy Joe has told me. She would call me and she would just say, I don't know what to do anymore, Michelle. Like, she's not changed. I thought she was going to change. I thought she was going to do things different. She told me she wanted to, and I could just tell she doesn't want to. I mean, if she doesn't have cigarettes and she doesn't have her whatever drugs she does, then she's not happy, and she makes everybody's life miserable.
Right.
And her kids.
Right. Like, I mean, wow, that's just, see, that's what doesn't make sense. If she was having a rough time, let's say she got angry and did something stupid, and, and I don't know, hit him too hard. I don't even like to think about it. But the thing is, like, you said the kids go there no matter what, even if she doesn't work. She would have, she has the days off, right?
Right.
You get the kids. I mean, it sounds like she has it pretty easy. It doesn't sound like she's been paying any type of rent. I think she was supposed to.
Right.
Pay her mom rent, but from the eviction notice, it doesn't look like she has been. It does also, I heard too that the day that, on the 5th, was that the day that he went missing? What's the 5th? Let's see. Today's the.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in.
Today is the.
Yes, he went missing the 5th.
Okay, so I heard the 5th was the day that they were supposed to be evicted.
I'm not sure on that. I don't know what day it was. I think I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what day that was supposed to be, but I do know they were supposed to be out.
Did Billy have a favorite? I know that
She seemed to love both of them very much. She's been over at my house when I had him, and she got home early and come over here, and she would come home early too, and not even tell Leilani, and surprise visit and check on them and make sure Leilani was doing what she was supposed to. And this is not my tale to really tell. Like, I'm not like a nosy person, but I feel like that I have been lied to so much, and Billy Joe hasn't even been home seeing what her daughter's doing, so I do know what Leilani has been doing with her kids and how she's done. So I guess I feel like I don't want to be like a nosy tattletale person, but people need to know that they don't need to feel sorry for Leilani. They need to understand that her baby's missing, and she doesn't really give a damn.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. It's like she doesn't even care. That's so crazy. Oh, man. So yeah, I think I don't know. I can't think of anything else that you think would be important for me to. It's okay.
Yes, I can tell you one thing, and I told one cop. I can't remember what cop I told, but everything that day when the FBI come over here, I was trying to think, and I left it out. When that morning, right before Danny had texted me, it was probably about 8:40 when I left to go get my girls McDonald's and come back. Leilani or either him was in their gray car, and they was driving very slow up to their house from our stop sign. Now, this is what I was thinking. If it was Danny and he was driving slow, because he was literally driving like slow, looking, they had one window rolling down as I was leaving. him, then he really might not know what happened to Quinton. She might have done something when he was already at work.
Yeah. What time does he usually work? Do you know?
They usually have the kids to me between 5:15 and 5:45. Sometimes they're a little late at 6 o'clock, and then they're running late and they're trying to rush to work.
So he works
Yes, he works.
What time? And she does too.
Yes, they both got a job, I believe, at the same place, making very good money.
Oh, okay. But yet they don't have money. It sounds like for
their kids.
Yeah, it probably is a drug problem. What do you think law enforcement thinks? I mean, they're trying to act like, we don't see. Yesterday they were saying we don't suspect foul play, which I'm like, are they just like bluffing? Because what else could it be? A 20-month-old doesn't just like go on a morning stroll. Like, I mean, if it does, he's not going to get far.
Right. I don't know what to think about law enforcement. I know when it first happened that Savannah Chatham County Police was all over it. My road, you couldn't get through it. And then I heard, I don't know this for a fact, that the FBI said they was taking over. So then we didn't see no more Chatham County. Like, they just disappeared, and we seen FBI yesterday, but it was only a few of them, and they wasn't here long either. And then I heard they got 2 more search warrants. So I don't know what's going on, but I think that they should definitely let the people know something. Like, they're working on something, but just give us something, because people are still literally walking these woods. They haven't listened. They haven't stopped. They're walking these woods trying to find this baby.
Right. And if they know that it was foul play, right. If they know that the people would be wasting their time looking, then they should say something. But also, I could see them maybe they're giving false, maybe to make Liliani and possibly Danny feel more comfortable and think that the law enforcement believes them. Maybe law enforcement is just trying to go along with and try not to freak them out, so they won't say, oh, we need a lawyer, we're not going to talk. I don't know, because law enforcement will sometimes lie if it's, a lot of times, if it will help the investigation. So it's possible. I just, that one chief, or your guys' chief, he seemed like a really nice guy, but man, he didn't know anything about this.
Watch the video for my kids, please. I will not be long. I will just ask you for help.
I mean,
he didn't even know his name. He couldn't remember his name. That's why I was shocked.
He didn't know. Oh my gosh, he didn't know if he had any brothers or sisters. I couldn't believe it. It's like, did you not prep yourself for this?
Right.
Beforehand? So. Wow. Well, I do appreciate you talking to me. I don't want to keep you forever, because maybe I might ask or see if you could talk again sometime, and I don't want you to have a bad experience this time and be like, no way.
No, it's fine. Can I have your YouTube name, or
yeah,
you can't?
Ziggy. I go by Ziggy. I'll send you the link.
Okay, send me the link, and thank you for talking to me. And yeah, because like people are saying, I am just a babysitter to them, but when you love kids, you're more than that. If you
No, Tic Tac. Billy was at work all the time. Billy was hardly ever home. Before the fight, after the fight, in the middle of the fight, Billy was hardly ever there. The state was taking the babies from Leilani. Billy promised the state she would care for them. She allowed Leilani to move back into her home when Leilani got pregnant. She wanted to go back to her job. She bought that damn trailer thing. I don't know when, before, after, whatever. Her and her husband were traveling. Yes, way prior to this day. Oh, the eviction, the fight was on September 9th, I believe. Quinton went missing September 8th. Well, she evicted them. I believe it was September 9th. Quinton went missing September 5th. Suzette, he let them tap his phone and record them in a hotel room for 3 days. For 3 days, he sure did. Yeah, Quinton went missing October 5th, but they were evicted. They were evicted and child support was filed. Leilani was due. Okay, that's what it is. That's what you might be getting confused. Leilani was supposed to start paying child support like that week, the day of or the day after or something, that Quinton had gone missing. She was supposed to start paying child support to the state. More than most likely because Billy Joe was receiving food stamps and not reporting her work income because she worked out of state and thought she could get away with that. Oh, the seance was late yesterday, Birdie. She was Leilani's baby dad, his adopted sister. Like they considered each other sister and brother. Cody lived with her, and then she got pregnant with Zane. It seems as though she cheated on Zane with Bubba and had Quinton. Bubba didn't want her or the baby. This is what I'm seeing. It's my opinion of it. Bubba didn't want her or the baby. Leilani hated the baby for it. Danny comes into her life. They have this baby girl. She's abusive to the baby boy. The baby boy loves Danny. Danny plays with him. He picks the kids up. He treats them as good as he can under addiction. And I think that's what he was trying to say on a stand when he said, I could have been better. Shouldn't have been doing that shit. I think he's learned from this. We know he's innocent, and I think he'll go on to do great things. But I think Billy loved Quinton. The babysitter loved Quinton. Everybody wanted Quinton. It was to keep Quinton away from Leilani. But nobody called DHS. Not even a babysitter. I agree that's shitty too. So now Billy's suffering. Leilani will spend the rest of her life in jail. Billy got 2 kids in jail. And Danny's going to go on and he's going to do great things. And I hope one day he gets his daughter back. If he doesn't, I'm sure he'll be in her life. I can hope. If he makes it big in his music career, I guarantee you he'll take care of her. All the shit Leilani and Billy Joe, listen. If you don't think it wasn't about the money, here she is with the caskets, here she is with all this shit, all that shit on Voices, put your face on my wall. She ripped the foster system off. She didn't report income. She gave them kids back to Leilani, was going to continue to collect that money, not tell the state that she evicted the children from the home, right? Because she can't go to who she promised she was going to take care of the kids to. So she was going to continue to collect that money. Then she goes to Voices and allows Cher to put the fucking picture. Yeah, you know what, Billy Joe? You're fucking shit. Let's continue listening to this. I'm sorry. I hope nobody gets mad at me for that, but she's shit. She exploited her own grandson. She did a nice thing with the fucking give the toys, but I think that was exploitation too. Here, look at me, look at me.
Heard anything? Hear anything? Could you let me know?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, yeah, I'm right now. It looks like. Do you know a Holly Ford? She just messaged me. I guess that's the mother of the other babysitter, Holly Ford. She's wanting to talk too, but I was just asking because she just messaged.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. I've talked to a couple people, but I don't really know them. I've got so many messages in my inbox.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm lucky that I even, I got a hold of you. I put a message on one of your posts and I think that's what you saw. So
I'm praying in my head before I talk to you and ask, what I should do. Like, I don't want to spread stuff, but I can spread the truth as far as I know it.
Right. As long as you are just, speaking the truth as far as that's like all you can do. And if, I don't know, has law enforcement told you can't talk? I mean,
No, they haven't. Like, literally, they come up and they talk to me, and I sent the FBI the messages where that he said that he wasn't coming today. But I don't know anything. They haven't talked to me. I've just been outside like other people, walking, watching, and waiting.
See, you would think though that Danny, the fact that you saw the car creeping by, I mean, that seems like positive. Maybe like Danny doesn't know, but he texted at 5:30 to tell you that he wasn't coming. So the kids weren't coming. So like, what did he know?
But yeah, that's where I get confused because I feel like, did they do something that night, or is he trying to cover himself, or then he comes by creeping, and does he really not know and something happened between when he left? Because I can tell you this, at 7 o'clock, my door's open every day. I am outside because my husband leaves for work by 7:30. My son-in-law leaves for work. My son lives in a house behind me. He leaves from work around 8. We were outside. So I know I can promise you from 7:30 until 9, Quinton, like she says, did not get out that door and walk down no road. We was outside. Now, I don't know what happened that night, or I don't know what happened when Danny left for work from, say, a quarter till 6 until 7:30 until my door opened.
Did he go to work yesterday? Or the day before? On Wednesday? Probably not, huh?
He did work. He went, well, someone said they verified that he was at work and that he came home. So that was him. I'm thinking that was him going slow. Maybe Leilani called him and said, if he didn't have nothing to do with it, Quinton's missing. But either way, she's guilty. Even if she went to sleep and left that baby up and that door open because she opens it so much smoking, that's still her fault. She's responsible. Don't be a dead-ass mom. Get up and take care of your kids.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't, to me, I don't think she's even supposed to be around them by themselves anyways. Especially...
And I think Billy Joe's going to have some repercussion from that because she knew in her...
I'm hearing that noise again. It might be one of my cats. Do you hear it? JSB. There's like something screeching. I don't know if it's outside or in another room, and I'm scared to go look. Could be a Halloween decoration somewhere. It ain't my dog. He's right there on the bed. The kids ain't here. Nobody's here. I don't know. How is JSB crying about that died? Huh? About Uncle John, Andy's uncle. Is she crying about that? I'm not gonna comment on that. I let people grieve. Yeah, Andy's uncle died. He was in my chat last night telling us about it. Oh, Ranger. That's Ranger. That's what that is. Let me go play this. I gotta go let that fucking dog out of the fucking bedroom. I forgot he was up there again. Damn it. Hold on.
Her, she knew that she wasn't supposed to be around them. I don't care if your daughter says she's changing. I'm texting you all this stuff, so apparently she's not changing for the good.
Yeah, she probably thought she was doing a good thing and trying to keep the kid, keep the, their mother and her grandkid's life, and also trying. I don't know. It probably a little bit of an enabler. I mean, obviously she is if she's letting her daughter live with her while she's using, because that's enabling, and because that's money that she doesn't have to pay for rent that she gets spent on drugs. So that's why it's enabling. I mean, even though she's supposedly, it sounds like supposed to pay rent, but according to the eviction paper that was filed by Billy, but I don't know how much. And it didn't say specifics, but anyway. Yeah, so did you hear anything on the news? Like, did he say anything about Quinton today on the news?
I haven't seen it. Honestly, I went grocery shopping earlier. I was on my way back when you were texting. Because they had my car, nobody could move, so I hadn't been to the grocery store. So I had to go grocery shopping this morning, and I into the bank, and then I came back. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I talked to you, so I mean, I know that your life is hectic right now, and everybody's wanting to talk to you. So, I figured you'd get back a hold of me when you could. So,
yes, ma'am.
But well, thank you so much. And yeah, if I hear anything like, would it be best for me to text you or message you on Messenger?
Text me. This is my number. Either one is fine, and I will get back to you. But please send me your YouTube link if you will.
I'll do that right now.
All right.
If you ever want to come on and talk about it, but I know some people are really shy. I just the best way the advice I give people and the way I handled it when I first started YouTube is I just act like I'm talking on the phone. I don't look at the comments,
Right.
So if you ever want to come on there, and but I didn't want to ask you that right first because sometimes people, a lot of people get really nervous. So okay, let me get you before I forget, because I was going to send you that link.
Well, it was a nice setup.
Listen up, you penny pinchers. Since you seem to think our fire blanket is just so expensive, we had to create an insane deal just so you can experience an insane deal in your home. That's right, so you can experience this incredible flash sale where you can get up to 51% off the emergency fire blanket.
And then, okay. I'll just let you go so you can. So do you have you talked to anybody else from besides law enforcement?
I'm going to have to listen to that whole damn thing again. I got the dog. He's fine. I fed him. And now I'm busted if my daughter sees this. I was a bad dog sitter today. That's what she gets for the car seat yesterday. I'm going to pretend I was a good one now. I think they just pulled up. They went to Fright Night at Kennywood tonight. They're all at a haunted house, her and a bunch of her friends. Okay. I don't know what I missed. I'll have to listen to this later. Here we go.
Enforcement? I mean, like...
Nope. Nobody. Wow. And Billy Joe, I texted her last night, told her I was praying for them, and has she heard anything? And she hadn't texted me back. So, I guess, like she feels like I was just a lady that kept her grandkids, but no, it was more than that. My whole family loved the kids. Even my mom in Florida would FaceTime me and see the babies, and my mom loves kids too. So you know, and a lot of the kids that I've kept through my life, they even call my mom Nana. So it's not like we're just a babysitter and they come and go from 9 to 5. No, they're with us at night sometimes a lot because of their situation. So I really feel like Billy Joe has not let me know anything, and she could have, because I was right there for her grandkids.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you did a lot for them. I mean, only $15 per kid, and nothing for the baby. So you watched the baby also? At first, I thought it sounded like you only watched the boys.
Nope, I watched all 3.
Okay. Even when she didn't work, all of them? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. And the baby, how soon did you start watching, like after the baby was born, did you start watching her?
She was about almost 2 months.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I mean, is there anything else you can think of that people should know? I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting to ask that I really wanted to ask, but I guess I could always text you.
Yes, ma'am. No, not at this time. I hope that he's just not a face that they forget, and people are going to.
As long as like, you guys are willing and stuff, I will continue to talk about it. I have, I mean, I have a pretty decent following from the Summer Wells case and stuff. And so I will, and I also know a lot of the creators, so I could definitely like help you guys like get in touch with other ones that would be more than happy, I'm sure, to talk to you. And
I have a lot of pictures. The picture that she turned in that day was not even a recent picture. And the pictures the grandmas got, except for the one with her with them, she got off of my Facebook. I can send you so many pictures of him.
She took pictures off your Facebook to turn them into, wow. See,
yes, and then pictures that I sent her of him, she shared as well. But they didn't even have an updated picture of him. Leilani gave that picture when it was his birthday party when he was 1 year old. Yes, that was crazy to me.
Wow.
But I do have pictures too that I can send because he looks a lot different and he's a lot bigger.
Wow, yeah. Send me one with more recent so that I could show people to be on the lookout, because that makes me think maybe he is alive. Maybe she, I don't know, got money for him or something. I don't know. Who knows?
That's what through my mind too, like so many things. Then I thought maybe she left the drugs out and he got a hold of them and then they covered it up. So many things just went through my mind.
Yeah.
But I will send you some of these pictures of him right now.
Okay, awesome. And I text you that link. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone said that pop punk is dead, and boy, were they.
They ain't wrong. It kind of is. Okay. Anyways, that's a damn shame. Mine ain't pictured every day. If we're just lazy around the house, but like last night, I took pictures of making cookies, and we take many, many pictures often, if that's what you meant. And I missed a lot. Chatting with you guys. I'm going to have to listen to that later, but I remembered a lot of it as we were listening to it. Yeah, I hope they bring them in. I was really shocked they haven't brought them in. They're going to do it on defense. No, can they do that? Holler. You would know that. Can they bring evidence that wasn't brought in the prosecution's testimony into the defense? Can the prosecution bring that evidence to the defense? Yes, Holler, she didn't show up the next day on the 5th. On the 4th, she went and got her tooth pulled. They left work early. She had Danny click out. They could slick that right in. Yes, good. Okay. All right. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. I didn't know. I didn't think that they could. See, that's why we need Hauler's expertise over here. Woo, woo. Everybody give Hauler some hearts and claps. I believe I heard today they were bringing them in. Okay. As a whole surprise. That's going to be nice. That jury's going to shit when they see that because it wasn't brought in. I'm glad the judge decided to bring those in because that could have caused a lot of fucking problems. Because did you see that? Like, they were slick. They told that judge, I was trying to remember what day and I didn't have time to go through all the days and find it. I think it was day 2. But he came in on that judge and he was like, we don't want these text messages in. Then he comes in and reads the ones before, after, all out of order. Leads the jury to believe that she was buying shit for Danny. The next day, the prosecution comes back and is like, the defense led the jury to believe she was buying drugs for Danny, and that's not what happened here. Judge, read the text messages. So the judge reads the text messages. They go on one of their 10 million. That judge loves breaks. But you know what I was thinking about it? It seems like the trial's going awfully fast with the breaks. And I think it's because she's giving the jurors and the people time to break. And I also think she's doing it when she does that stand-up thing today, like she just stops somebody from talking. I think it's because she's seen a juror falling asleep, maybe. I don't know. Starting to, maybe it's so that nobody does fall asleep. Defense objects to text, then open the door. Yeah, that's pretty much what he did. They didn't, nobody talked about. Listen, when I get teeth pulled, it's Vicodin usually, right? I don't even take them because they make my blood pressure drop. What do they give for a pulled tooth these days? They don't give me shit because of my heart. That's why I'm gonna light this fucking quarter of a cigarette and smoke it. I've been butting them 3 times and shit. I'm really trying to quit, guys. It's so hard. Seems to my, what else? Defensive. Yeah, I read them all. Yeah, I got Percocet on my last one. 5 milligram. But will they give it to you if it's documented in your, I don't, why would it be documented though? She's only 22 years old. I don't know. Yeah, she could have been. Oh, they were talking about the Percocets. Yeah, she did have Percocets. They talked about them. I have to go back. Duh. They talked about them with Danny too, because we were all laughing about how you do coca. You're right. Duh. She was taking the prescription for perks. Wouldn't her defense have been better to use that as a, well, she's mixing, well, no, because she's an addict. They're not going to forgive the addiction. Mixing the perks with the cola. They make some people mean as fuck. Yeah. I don't like them. They make me itchy. My blood pressure, my whole life, anytime I had any kind of pill like a Vike, Percocet, any of that, my blood pressure drops. I don't feel good when I take them. I hate pills. Never liked them. Tequila does that to my husband. I'm kidding. Oh, if she's mixing most stuff, she was zooted. Yeah, she was fucked up, but they can't even use that because she did the other stuff with it, dummy. She's gonna get life. Why is she not? Why did they not give her the death penalty again? Does Georgia not offer that? I was gonna look it up today and come back with the smarts, but I didn't. I feel like she should get the death penalty, man. You know what makes me sick is that they showed 3 bones that they found at Quinton's. 3. Billy Joe was over there like, I want Quinton's remains. She makes me sick. She got tooth pulled. She got pills. Her pain levels were down. Yep. Malice murder, felony murder, and she has 19 charges. The rest are all lying. The rest are all for not telling the truth. Her other 2 charges are malice and felony. That's how they do it in Georgia. Yeah. So what is that? 18. She got 18, no, 17 charges of lying to officials. Yeah, all state charges. No capital. I don't think Georgia does capital. They explained it on a news thing once. All right, guys, let's go watch her testimony. What is going on? My dogs and cat better not start fighting. I hear tippity tapping.
I've already done, but I'm not going to ask her not to mute again.
Okay, I've heard from both. We're going to move on from this point, but I will address Ms. Simon. Ms. Simon, you do have a right to communicate with your attorneys. I will say I did not observe mouthing from the defendant to the last witness, but nor was I looking the entire time. I don't discount.
Face the clerk, come on. Face the clerk and raise your right hand, please. The evidence you share with the court and the jury in the trial of this issue should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Step this way, ma'am. Now let's see what
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Parker.
Can you tell the jury your name, please, ma'am?
Michelle McCarta.
And are you the mom of Talia that we heard testify yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you know the defendant in this case, Leilani Simon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you also know Daniel Youngkin?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you know their children?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know Quinton Simon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before we get deeper into this, I want to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 29. May I approach, Your Honor? Yes. Ms. McCarta, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 29. Do you recognize this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and without saying what's in it, is it a photograph?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and does it fairly and accurately depict what is in the photograph?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we tender what's been marked as State's Exhibit 29 into evidence, please.
Okay, Exhibit 29 is admitted without objection.
And now that it's in evidence, can you tell us what this is a picture of?
This is a picture of Quinton when I was off. We took him to Red Lobster to eat.
Okay. So in this photograph, he was out with you.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, may I publish this to the jury?
Yes, you may.
I'm just going to do it old school.
Okay.
Ms. McCarter, how did you first become acquainted with the defendant and Daniel?
Through a church lady that went to church with us for many years.
Okay, and who was the church lady? What was her name?
Sandra Howell.
Okay, and was she related to them in some way?
She was the sister of Billy Joe's husband.
Okay, so that would be, she was the sister of the defendant's stepfather?
Yes.
Okay, and did she introduce you to them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what was the purpose of her introducing you to them?
She had been keeping the children and her knee got real bad. So she asked if me or my daughter or both could watch them because she wasn't able to do that anymore.
How many daughters do you have?
I have 3 daughters.
Okay, and which daughter was going to help babysit?
Maritza McCarta.
Okay, and is that your oldest daughter?
No, she's 19. She's my middle.
She's the middle one, and then
Yes.
Talia's the youngest.
Yes.
Okay. So did you go and meet with the defendant and her family to perhaps babysit the children?
No, ma'am. Billy Joe had called me on the phone a couple days later.
Okay. And did she set up the babysitting arrangement?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember approximately when this was?
We started watching Quinton and them around the end of January, February of 2022.
Okay. And that would have been before Sky was born.
Yes.
So at that time, when you first started babysitting, there were just the 2 boys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And about how old would the boys have been then?
Quinton was young, maybe 9 months, 10 months.
So they would have been, Zane would have been a toddler.
Yes.
And Quinton would have been an infant.
Yes.
When you first started babysitting.
Yes.
them. So how did it work? Who brought the kids to your house?
Most of the time, Danny. Once in a while, Leilani.
All right. And how often would the children stay with you?
At first, it was just when they worked. And then it started being overnight. And a lot of times we would even call for Quinton to stay with us, even when they were off.
Okay. Now, who was paying you?
Leilani was paying, but it wasn't like steady. She would pay and then she would text me later and tell me she needed formula for Sky or diapers and could she come and get it, and she would pay back when she got paid next time.
And how much were they paying you to babysit? Do you remember
Yes.
what the agreed upon amount was, whether you were actually getting that or not?
It was like $25 here, $30 there. One time I think she paid $100. It was just different amounts because she would tell me she didn't have it or she had to do this.
So is it fair to say that you and your daughter were being paid a lot less than the normal going rate for childcare?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. You said that Quinton would spend the night sometimes. Would both the boys spend the night or just Quinton?
Zane stayed a handful of times. Quinton stayed a lot.
And why is that? Why would Quinton stay overnight?
Honestly, Quinton loved us. He was close to us. And I just felt like he would be better off at our house because there was a difference in the love she showed between Zane and Quinton. And I felt bad. And I would work and my daughter would say, "Can we just get him, Mom, because this happened today?" And I would say, "Yeah, call her and ask her if he can stay."
Can you think of some examples of how the defendant treated the boys differently?
Well, she was working at Bojangles, and she had brought food home, and she fed Quinton loved food, and every time he seen a bag, he would want it. He's little. She would feed Zane before she fed Quinton every time, and I just thought that was strange.
So, do you mean she'd give Zane food and make Quinton wait?
Yes, ma'am,
I mean,
absolutely.
She wasn't physically feeding Zane.
No, she would give him the food.
Just give him food.
And he would eat, and then Quinton would be, you know, whining and wanting it, and she would give it to him eventually.
Did you ever say anything to her about that?
I did not.
Are there any other ways that she treated the boys differently that you noticed?
Just by the way she talked to him, when she would, once in a while that she did come and pick them up, she would, you know, grab Zane and he would hug her because he was close to her. I mean, you could definitely tell it. And then, you know, Quinton 99% of the time wanted to stay with us, and he would start crying. Now, if Danny come and picked him up, it was different.
How did Quinton act if Danny came?
He would go with Danny. He wouldn't cry to stay with us. He loved Danny. He would, you know, Danny would pick him up and he'd hug him.
Did Leilani ever talk to you about how she felt about the boys?
Yes, ma'am. She just, one time, and my daughter had more talks with her than I did. I didn't really talk to her that much, but she just said that she loved Quinton more. I mean, Zane more than Quinton. And, you know, I didn't question it. She's a crappy mom. I knew that. But I just never said anything to her. I would always call Billy Joe when I seen things that was going on.
Okay. Did she ever, in that conversation, did she explain more about, like, Zane had been through things with her?
Yes,
Or anything
that
like
Zane had been her ride or die his whole life. And she did not like Quinton's father.
So, other than what you saw in your own home, did you ever see things outside? Like, did you ever observe the children at her house or outside their house?
On one incident, my daughter was going to our shed. That's where our laundry room is. And she had come running in and saying, Mama, Zane and Quinton is in the ditch. Well, it was the road on Buckhalter, but the ditch is right here. And Quinton was actually in the ditch, and Zane was trying to get him out.
Did you go out and see the kids outside?
I did.
Okay. And at some point, were they returned home or took back to your home?
They was returned. I asked Talia to take them home and find out where Leilani was. I immediately called Billy Joe.
And observing these kinds of things, did you ever report it to any authorities?
It had been reported. It had happened several times even before we started keeping them that I didn't know about, and it had been reported.
Okay. Do you know what authority, if any, it had been reported to?
Defects.
Okay. And you say it had been reported, so were you aware of somebody other than you reporting it? Okay. And if you could say yes or no.
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And I won't ask you what they said since we're in court. I just need you to, say what you did and said. Let's move to the day that Quinton disappeared.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember that morning?
Yes.
All right. Or actually, let's talk about the day before we move to that.
Mm-hmm.
The day before, were you supposed to watch the children that day?
Yes.
And what happened?
They picked up the kids. I did watch them, and Danny come and picked them up, and they were supposed to come back the next day. And around about 5:28, 5:29, I got a text from Danny saying that Leilani was keeping the kids today.
Okay. Now, had that happened before where she would not go to work and the children would stay at home?
No, because even if she didn't go to work, most of the time she sent them to us because she wanted to sleep.
Okay. And how do you know that?
because and she would stay at home because one day I had them and me and my daughters were taking them somewhere. And when we rode by, well, when we got in the car, she was on her front porch. It's like a little porch. And when she seen us, she actually ducked down and hid from us because she was supposed to be at work. But it didn't matter. We loved him, so I would have kept him anyway.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Quinton was like? Like, what did Quinton like? How, I mean, I know he was very young. He wasn't even 2 years old yet, but were there things that he said or things that he liked that you know about?
Yes. He loved cheese. Every time I would get home from work, he would want mac and cheese, and he would go to the refrigerator and he would get my cheese out, my block of cheese, for me to cut it for him. And if I would have let him, he'd ate the whole thing. He loved Blimpie. He loved Bubbles. Anytime we could go to the store and get him Bubbles, he just loved them. He was a very happy baby when he was with us.
And you said that he would spend the night. When he would spend the night, where would he sleep?
Usually we would all make a pallet in the floor and we would let him watch Blimpie until he fell asleep.
Okay. And what is Blimpie?
It's a cartoon.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
For those that don't have little kids that don't know what Blimpie is, so it's a cartoon.
Yes.
The children, when they came to your home, were they sent with clothes, food, diapers, things that they would have needed?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so how was that handled?
Well, Zane always come dressed. Several times we got Quinton and he would be in a long onesie and he would have poop from all over. I don't want to say a baby didn't smell good, but he smelled like rotten milk. He had rings around his neck. We'd immediately bathe him and put him fresh clothes on.
Did you keep clothes for him at your house?
I did, because I had to tell Billy Joe that she wasn't sending anything for the kids.
Okay. And did Billy Joe give you money to get clothes?
Yes. We went and got clothes. I took pictures of the clothes and the receipt and sent them to her.
Okay. And so then after that, you just kept clothes at your house?
Yes, I kept half of the clothes there.
Okay. All right. Now that we've covered that, now let's go to the day that Quinton disappeared. So that day, what is the first time you became aware something was out of the ordinary? You said, so that morning, Danny had texted you that the kids were going to stay at home.
Yes.
Did you have, at that point, did you have any more conversation with anybody about that?
No.
Okay. Then what's the next thing you heard from anybody in that family?
Me and my youngest daughter was on the way to McDonald's. Danny calls and asked me, did I get Quinton or have I seen him? And I said, no, why? And he said that Leilani said he was missing. So my kids homeschool. I ran to McDonald's. We come back. I dropped my youngest daughter off, and me and my oldest daughter headed down to Leilani's house.
Okay. Do you remember about what time of the morning this was?
Maybe around 9.
Okay. And so you dropped off food at your house. And how close is your house to theirs?
Catty corner across the street.
Okay. So y'all are neighbors. You're real close by.
Yes.
So you dropped food off, and then you went over to their house.
Yes.
And what do you drive?
Armada.
And what color is it?
White.
Okay. And when you got there, did you park in the driveway?
I did.
Okay. I'm asking because we've seen some scene photos with a vehicle.
Yes.
And that Armada that's white is your vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you got there, were there any police there yet?
No, ma'am.
All right. What did you do when you got there?
I asked Leilani if I could go in and help her look because Quinton liked to hide. He would hide from us under the bed. Like he just liked to play like hide and seek. She told me no. Me and my daughter both no. I asked, was the police called? They said no. Danny said no. And I said, why haven't you called the police? And I told her, I said, call the police. And then she did call the police.
When you got there, was Paul outside?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so Paul, did you later see Paul?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but when you got there, it's just Danny and Leilani.
Yes, ma'am.
And where were they?
Under the little carport, they have a little covered carport. There was, like, when you pull in their driveway in the back, it's like a little carport.
Okay.
Before you go in to get to the pool and the little play area.
Okay. So are you talking about where cars are parked or like the porch thing behind the house?
When you pull where the cars are parked, but they was kind of standing out from underneath the carport.
Okay. Sort of in the driveway.
Yes.
Okay. So they're standing in the driveway, and what were they doing?
She was standing there smoking cigarette right after another. She was like screaming.
Okay. At some point, did the police get called?
Yes.
Okay. Was that immediately after you suggested it or later?
I would say a couple minutes. I heard her get on the phone and call the police.
Okay. And did the police show up quickly?
Yes.
All right. After the police arrived, what did you do or where did you go?
Paul had come down at that time, and he was letting Zane ride this little car thing. Well, he ended up doing it too fast. Zane fell and slid across the concrete, and I had asked one of the policemen if I could take Zane to my house until all this was kind of, situated, and they told me yes, I could.
Okay. So did you take Zane and go home?
I did.
Okay. And at some point, were you interviewed by law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
When did that happen?
Well, I have cameras, so a gentleman come that worked, and he checked my camera system and asked me questions. And then I was also pulled into the police station by a detective.
Okay, to go do like a formal interview?
Yes.
Okay. During the time that you were keeping the kids, did Leilani ever bring them to you to go somewhere other than work?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, she a couple times she said that she had to run to 204 to go take care of business. And then a couple times we kept them when she was off work, that we knew she was going to be off work, but we didn't know what she was doing.
Okay. When she would say she was going to 204, did you know what that meant?
No.
Okay. And how long would she be gone when she said she was going to 204?
Maybe 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay. All right. Give me just a moment. Okay. Thank you, Ms. McCarter. That's all the questions that we have, and defense counsel may have some.
Thank you.
So it added up to what she said on Ziggy's. I do sublimation lady or Gerber sells them up to 24 months. Carter sells them up to 24 months. So I buy the bigger ones. I put them on Nico at night in the wintertime. But by morning, that kid don't give a shit. That's why we're always sick. The very minute he wakes up, he's ripping everything off. It's so bad. I got him to keep socks on yesterday. Oh my goodness, I was so excited. I told my husband when he come home from work this morning, he kept socks on. I hear a helicopter. God knows what's going on. Okay, so what did you think of her testimony? I think it matched pretty much what she said on Ziggy's and everywhere else. It sucks they didn't bring other bruising into play, but that's good. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, did you hear? Did you hear the prosecution say to Leilani today? They was like, if she wants to testify, we skipped past it because I went to Diana. I wanted to point that out. Her attorney's good. I mean, not her attorney, the state's attorneys. He's funny. What did he say yesterday? She was getting something. What did he say? She not a booty call. He said something. Oh, she was banging or something. She's banging him on the side. He said her something. Today she was like, I don't know. That attorney's good. He don't play no shit with Leilani. He was like, she could sit over there and raise her eyebrows or whatever. Day 4, end of her testimony. Okay, it was at the end. The news station clipped it. I got some news. Let's go watch a couple news clips. Hold on. Is that the ones I watched? Is this a new? I don't know if this is a news clip or part of the trial. Hold on, we'll watch this one.
Millie Moon Luxury Training Pants. Perfect for potty training. Available at Target.
At Byberg, we're experts in small business insurance.
For the first time, we're getting a look at surveillance video prosecutors say shows Leilani Simon throwing her toddler son into a dumpster. WJCL 22 News' Andy Cole joins us now live. And Andy, break down what happened in court today.
At my brother's trial, we weren't allowed to talk to him. He wasn't allowed to look back at us. It was so hard because he told us that they tried to bribe him with pizza. At the end, they wanted him. Never mind. Let's go to the news clip.
Yeah, Shannon, this video focuses on the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022. That's the day when Quinton was reported missing. Prosecutors say Leilani, in her Dodge Journey, drove into that mobile home park not to see her friend Missy, as she's previously told investigators, but instead to throw away her own son. This is security footage from the Azalea Mobile Home Park from around 1 a.m. on October 5th. Prosecutors say Leilani Simon is behind the wheel of the SUV, heading for the dumpsters. This angle, captured from several homes away, is the closest video the state has. They say that bright light at the top shows Leilani parking by the dumpsters to throw Quinton's 20-month-old body away. Chatham County Police Forensic Supervisor Gary Scott Coleman testified about the camera layout in and around the mobile home park. This after babysitter Michelle McCarta took the stand.
The children, when they came to your home, were they sent with clothes, food, diapers, things that they would have needed?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so how was that handled?
Well, Zane always come dressed. Several times we got Quinton and he would be in a long onesie and he would have poop from all over.
McCarta testified that Leilani was a, quote, crappy mom, saying her then boyfriend, Daniel Youngkin, would primarily drop off and pick up the children. The defense was quick to point out that despite her feelings about Leilani's parenting, she never alerted DFACS officials.
You never reached out and you weren't concerned enough between January and October to do that on your own, were you?
I was very concerned.
But not concerned enough to reach out and make a report.
I didn't have to. They reached out to me.
On Thursday, McCarta's 17-year-old daughter testified too, during which Leilani could be seen mouthing, "That's a lie," something prosecutors addressed early Friday.
She's furrowing her brow and acting like she didn't do that, but it's caught on video that she did.
She has the absolute right to communicate to us her thoughts and her opinions.
And shortly after that exchange between the two attorneys, Judge Tammy Stokes admonished Leilani for mouthing those words, advising her to do exactly what her lawyer told her to do, to write down any notes or whisper to them. Court is expected to resume Monday morning at 10 a.m. We'll be there and continue our gavel-to-gavel coverage. For now, outside of the Chatham County Courthouse, I'm Andy Cole, WJCL 22 News.
All right, a very tense day. Thanks so much, Andy, for that report. You can stream every moment of the trial of Leilani Simon on our website, WJCL.com.
If you want to learn how to edit.
So I will be here Monday morning. Earl's off, although he hadn't slept, but we'll figure that out Monday and Tuesday. I'll definitely be here. I want to go over, if it's okay with you guys, I didn't get to see the very last guy that testified today, the FBI guy. He had a lot of information. Like, I seen only bits and pieces of it. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to throw him on because I want to go over that. He was really good. He had a lot of info. He was, showed all the digital data. You're still listening? Okay. And I'm going to listen intently for a little while too. I'm going to try not to chat. I want to soak it all in because I missed so much. This, when he was testifying, my house was, the kids were leaving. It was crazy, you know. It was noisy. I couldn't hear. Let's go back to the trial. This guy, he was another failure. What did you think of this guy? He was on very short. You want to hear him first? We'll put him on first. This guy was, I don't understand why this guy wouldn't find out why the cameras wasn't working. That's something else I wanted to talk about. Do you think that it was they didn't pay for a subscription? Or do you think that Leilani disabled the cameras? Taylor Burns, last witness. This one's really short, Tic Tac. Can you guys just listen to it with me? Because I really want to get your thoughts on it. If it's okay. He's not up there very long. He's Attitude City. I didn't like this guy. I feel like he wasn't a really good... He should have followed up as to why the cameras weren't working, unless they have somebody else coming on.
All right, thank you, Williams. And please have a seat. Welcome back. We have concluded the last lunch for the week, right? You're not that lucky. So, was everyone able to comply with the instructions? Not to discuss the case, not to do any research. Okay, we're going to turn to the state now and move on with the testimony.
The last witness of the week, Randall Noble.
Yes, that's who I want to listen to. He was talking about the cameras. That was interesting. The doors opening was good. that goes with the guy at the end. That's why I said maybe we should watch him first. But the no cameras, I'm really confused. Like, he didn't know why. You would think they would find out why there was no cameras connected to the security system.
All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Detective.
Yeah, could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
I'm Detective Randall Noble.
And how do you spell your version of Randall?
Randall spelled Randall.
And normal spelling of Noble, Noble.
That is correct.
All right. Where do you work?
I work with Chatham County Police Department.
And how long have you been with the Chatham County Police Department?
I've been with the department for 6 years.
And where are you from?
Originally raised in Enterprise, Alabama.
How did you end up in the Chatham County area?
I joined the military after college, stationed at Hunter Army Airfield.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to UAB.
Did you get a degree there?
Yes, in criminal justice.
Okay. What'd you do in the Army?
I was infantry.
Did you deploy?
Yes, I did do deployments, Afghanistan.
And you said you joined the Chatham County Police when?
I joined them 2018.
Okay. Was that shortly after you got out of the Army?
Yeah, it was a smooth transition. I would say it was about 2 months right after ETS. I got out of the military. I joined up with the department.
What was your first position at the department?
I was a patrol officer.
And are you now a detective with the Criminal Investigations Division?
Yes, sir.
When did you join CID as a detective?
I've been a detective for about 3 years.
So you were a detective in October of 2022?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'd like to draw your attention to October 5th, 2022. Were you on duty that day?
Yes, sir.
Did you respond at some point to the house at 535 Buckhalter Road?
Yes, sir.
How did you know to go out there? Did somebody tell you to go out there?
I was either Sergeant Dennis, Sergeant Solomon, I don't recall which supervisor, but typically when we get call outs, especially during the duty day, we responded to 535 Buckhalter.
Now, we've heard some testimony. We've seen some body-worn camera still frames showing you and Detective Wilkins getting there at roughly the same time. Him maybe a little bit earlier than you. Does that sound about right to you?
Yes, Detective Wilkins arrived before I did on scene.
And were you second on scene for CID?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us generally what was going on there when you arrived?
When I first arrived on scene, I met with Lieutenant Foster, who was head supervisor on scene at the time, and he basically just gave me the rundown exactly, who is he talked to and what situation we're dealing with.
Now, what was Wilkins' responsibility out there? What was he doing?
At the time, he interviewed Leilani.
And what did your role become upon your arrival? What were you doing out there?
So after I talked with Lieutenant Foster, I met up with Detective Wilkins, who was already speaking with Leilani. And then after he conducted his interview, I had a brief interview with Leilani while Wilkins was right there.
Now, were you involved in coordinating the transport of Leilani Simon, Paul Simon, and Daniel Youngkin to Chatham County Police Department headquarters?
Yes, sir.
And is that building in Chatham County?
Yes, sir.
What was your involvement in the transport?
I took Leilani to the precinct.
What type of vehicle did you take her in?
At the time, it would have been my silver Ford Explorer unmarked vehicle.
Now, what's the back seat of that vehicle like?
It's just a normal, for that vehicle, it's just a normal back seat.
It's not like a patrol car with a cage and all that?
No cage, no plastic seating. I mean, it has your seatbelt, your standard seatbelts.
All right, so you gave her a ride?
Correct.
When you got to headquarters, we've heard some testimony that detectives and FBI agents paired up in teams to interview these three people. Is that your recollection?
Yes, sir.
Who were you paired up with?
I was the Special Agent Solomon.
And who did you and Special Agent Solomon interview?
We interviewed Danny.
Okay. Was he cooperative during October 5th?
Yes.
And at some point, did he give you consent to go through his phone and to download his phone?
That is correct.
All right. Did you also conduct an interview with Joe Swain when you were there?
Yes, after we interviewed Danny, I conducted an interview with Joe.
And who is Joe Swain in relation to the defendant?
Joe would be Leilani's older brother.
Okay. I'd like to show you what's been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit 3 and identified as still frames from Sergeant Stewart's body-worn camera. Specifically, slide 18, okay? Do you see Joe Swain in this image? Is that him behind the truck there?
Yes, I believe that's him.
Okay. So he was at the scene at some point and came to headquarters?
Yes, he was on scene.
Okay. And did he have any relevant information to provide? He didn't live in that house at the time, did he?
No, to what he provided that he moved out 6 months prior to this incident.
Did he have any relevant information to provide to you all though that assisted you in the investigation?
Yeah, so the initial interview, he thought it was odd that Leilani would blame Henry.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you just about the ADT records, okay?
Okay.
Did he have access on his phone to ADT records pertaining to the house?
Yes.
Tell me why did he have access to that?
To my knowledge, he had access because he's the one who set up the account for Billy Joe, the owner of the residence, and he still had access because he would access it for her.
Hey, tell us about this ADT system, what you know of it.
So the ADT records he provided was basically like similar to like a phone log. There were sensors on the doors to the living room, the front door, and the dining room. This is what it was labeled in on the records. And each time the door would open and close, it was time stamped. And he had a screenshot version as if you would to check your bank records and you could see your statements. Well, he had a screenshot version of actually being able to access what day to look at the sensors.
Was it like an app on his phone?
Yes, that's correct.
And was he able to show that to you and sort of walk you through what doors had opened and closed when?
Yes, sir.
Now, was there any particular, let me just make clear, are you talking to him about this on the scene or at headquarters?
No, so he provided the screenshots. He sent them to me via text while I was on scene executing the search warrant. This happened after the interview with Joe.
Oh, okay, so it's after headquarters, you've gone back to the scene.
Correct.
All right. Was there any particular door activity at this time that was of interest to you that he provided?
Yes, at the time he provided a screenshot of the front door, which when we responded initially on scene, Leilani stated she woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning, approximately 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I was provided a statement from Danny when I interviewed him with Special Agent Solomon that he received a phone call from Leilani at 9:14. And initially at this point in the investigation, her statement was she woke up, the door was open, she searched, and then she called Danny. Well, when I was provided the ADT records, it showed the front door opening at 9:22 a.m., which conflicted with Danny and Leilani's statements.
Now, did you follow up with ADT, the company, in search of official door sensor records from them directly?
Yes, I executed a search warrant for ADT to get certified records.
And did they turn around responsive records to you?
That is correct, yes.
Do you see in front of you a document marked as State's Exhibit 58?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize that document?
Yes, this is the search warrant.
The search warrant you sent to ADT?
This is the one I mailed to ADT. That is correct.
When did you get that search warrant? When did you obtain it from the judge?
I obtained it. Can I look at my report?
Would it help to just look at the warrant? I mean, wouldn't the warrant have a date on it? Or-
I mean, it was signed the 14th day of October, but I just want to make sure the day I mailed it out.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so October 17th, 2022 is when I mailed it.
Okay. And did they give you responsive records after receiving that search warrant?
Yes, sir. On October 27th, I received an email by Stacy Wise providing me with the records that were requested.
Now, the records that you got from them, what do they look like? What's the format?
So the format is basically she provided a business record certification stating that she's the one who pulled the records. And then the format is what I requested were the days from September 28th to October 5th. And it's pretty much just a timeline of since September 28th when, well, I'll just look at it real quick. From the point that the dining room door opened at 5:12 in the morning to all the way up to the point of 10/5/22 where the door opened at 23:56 p.m.
So that all the way through the evening, like
Correct.
that time of October 5th. So what was it? I didn't catch the opening date, like a week's worth of records or something?
I requested from September 28th to October 5th of 2022.
Okay, so a week.
Correct.
And do those records show when a given door opened, like open and close kind of all in the same go, or just open or just close after having been open? Can you tell all that from those records?
Yes, sir.
Is there something about cameras at that residence associated with this system?
So there are cameras supposed to be with the system, but the cameras weren't activated.
They weren't working that day?
No, ADT was not able to recover any camera footage.
Okay. And at some point, did the defendant and some other people told you the cameras at the residence weren't active during the relevant time frame?
Correct.
Now, these ADT records, again, the format of what you got, what does it look like? Just like columns or a spreadsheet or what?
I'll go with, it's a spreadsheet. You go from left to right. It'll give you a monitor or message, which would be a monitor is actually the door sensor moving. The message is when the system itself is doing a self-check to say, like, the sensors are still working, they still can reach a camera or whatnot. And then it will go into how they would describe each sensor. For this sake, sensor 1 was described as front door, sensor 2 was described as dining room, and sensor 3 was described as living room.
Your Honor, at this time, I would introduce into evidence State's Exhibit 58 and 59 is the ADT records that you got back.
Yes, sir.
All right. I would introduce States 58 and 59.
Having reviewed both, Judge, no objection.
Those are admitted.
Now, let me ask you this. You get these records from ADT, and I understand that you said they have a business record certification with them. We have heard, I think, some interview footage of the defendant claiming that the front door sensor wasn't working properly at the time or something along those lines. Did you do anything yourself to ascertain, to verify whether these records are reliable, whether the statements in the records about when a door opened or closed is something that you can rely on and seems to be true?
Yeah, so what I did, I reviewed BWC footage from the officers that were on scene, and given the doors being open so actively, I thought it was a good source. Well, our BWCs, they're also time stamped as well. I was able to timestamp one of the officers, Officer Jepson, when he walks into the house with Danny. It was the dining room door at 10:01, and then it correlated with his BWC. Also, there was another when Lieutenant Foster was messing with the front door at 10:16. I was able to review Voss's BWC, which cooperated with it was timestamped 10:16 as well.
Okay. So after cross-checking opening and closing of the door that you can see on some of these responding officers' cameras against the entries that you're seeing in the ADT records, do you believe those records to be accurate and these sensors to have been working properly at that time?
Yes, sir.
Now, you mentioned that these records are in like kind of a spreadsheet format. Have you done anything to create a visual aid to show the jury when the various doors in this house open and close, or just opened, or just closed after having been opened?
Yeah, the PowerPoint was created with a layout of the house, and then the front door, living room door, and dining room door is labeled through slides indicating when one door was open and closed and one door was open, vice versa.
Do you see in front of you a document marked with States Exhibit 60, or perhaps it's just a disc? I don't remember.
It's labeled ADT PowerPoint. It's 60, yes.
Now, have you reviewed the contents of that disc?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does it contain the presentation that you've just described?
That's correct.
And do the contents of that presentation accurately reflect what the ADT records themselves say?
Yes.
Do you believe that presentation will aid the jury in their understanding of your testimony?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I would offer States Exhibit 60 at this time and ask permission to publish it. No objection, Judge.
60 is admitted, and you may publish.
Now, do you agree with me that this presentation is not the most exciting thing in the world?
Absolutely.
All right, you ready to rip through it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are we looking at on the first slide?
So from my right to your left, this is Leilani and Danny's room. I'm gonna get a little closer.
Yeah, you can step down if you want to just.
So this is Leilani and Danny's room. This is the first floor of the house. I don't have the second floor. And all we're caring about is the front, dining room, and living room door. Front door will be right. These right here are just windows. I know they look like doors, but it's just the way they lay out. Front door will be right here. Dining room door right here, and the living room door is going to present itself right here. And the stars are actually where the doors would be.
And is each successive slide going to represent essentially an entry from these ADT records?
Correct.
Now, the first entry, what is the date and time for this? For each of these, why don't you just tell us the date, time, and what door is showing activity and what that activity is, okay? So we're on slide 2 here.
Okay. So we're going to start with October 4th. This is going to be 4:16 p.m. Down below is when the dining room door opens and closes.
Slide 3.
It's October 4th at 4:28 p.m. The dining room is opening and closing.
Slide 4.
October 4th at 4:40 p.m. The dining room is opening and closing.
Slide 5.
October 4th at 4:43 p.m. The dining room is opening and closing.
So still like mid to late afternoon at this point.
Correct.
Slide 6.
At 5:29 on October 4th, the front door is closed.
Now, can I presume from that there was an earlier entry showing that door being open but not closed?
Yes, the presentation didn't go far back enough, but on the ATT records do reflect that the front door was opened prior and was not closed, and that's why it's just now showing a closed.
Okay. Slide 7.
On October 4th at 5:45 p.m., the dining room is opening and closing.
Slide 8.
At 17:52 on October 4th, the front door is opening and closing, along with the dining room doors opening and closing.
Now, does this mean that these events happened at the exact same time, or does it mean something different?
No, it happened within minute. It happened within the minute. The AT records does not break down seconds. So there will be repeated like front door opening and closing at some times. That's why it will reflect. There's further into the presentation, there'll be another slide like this, but it only would break down 5:52 between, 5:52 that both these doors opened before 5:53 hit.
And closed as well, right?
Correct.
Is it fair to say that where there's no special notation, that each of these stars represents the door opening and closing in the same entry?
Yeah, so for the most part, a lot of the entries, we use basically the blinking star. It's common. You open the door, you close it right away because you're just going through. So just a blinking star means opening and closing.
Okay. And does this presentation specify where a door is open but not closed?
That is correct.
Slide 9.
October 4th at 5:55 p.m., the dining room is opening and closing.
Slide 10.
October 4th at 6:26 p.m., the door is left open.
Which door?
The front door, sorry.
All right. And so at this time, the door is open but not closed.
Correct.
Slide 11.
On October 4th at 6:44 p.m., the front door is still open and the dining room is open and closed.
Slide 12.
On October 4th at 7:19 p.m., the front door is closed.
Slide 13.
On October 4th at 7:19 p.m., the front door is open and closed.
Slide 14.
On October 4th at 7:43 p.m., the dining room door is open and closed. On October
This is, just for the record, this is slide 15.
On October 4th, 7:46 p.m., the dining room is open and closed.
Slide 16.
October 4th at 7:59 p.m., the door is left open.
Which door?
The front door.
Slide 17.
On October 4th at 8:41 p.m., the front door is closed.
And that was after having been left open on the previous slide.
Correct.
Slide 18.
On October 4th at 9:41 p.m., the front door is opened.
Slide 19.
On October 4th at 10:11 p.m., the front door is closed.
Slide 20.
On October 4th at 10:11 p.m., the front door is open.
Slide 21.
On October 4th at 10:22 p.m., the front door is still open. And then the dining room door is open and closed.
Your Honor, I will note for the court, at this time, we've introduced this exhibit only on the disc. I do intend to print a paper version of this presentation and add it into evidence at a convenient time so that the jury will have it during deliberations, so that they don't have only the disc to be able to look at it.
Any objection to that?
Your Honor, I would object when the time comes. Let's just get to that point first, and I'll state all those reasons why later.
Oh. You may proceed.
All right, this is slide 21. I don't remember whether you addressed this one or not yet. Can you tell us again what this?
Yes, on October 4th at 10:22 p.m., the front door is still open and the dining room door was open and closed.
Slide 22.
At October 4th at 10:36 p.m., the front door is still open and the dining room is open and closed.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Lady R, I want to watch this alone without in my chat because I keep getting interrupted. I was trying to pay attention really, really hard to the times. Like, if you look at the beginning, I was paying attention. And he was saying at 4 something, this door open, at 4 something, that door open. It makes sense if Leilani and Danny came home, Danny leaves, go gets the babysitter, the door opens again for him to come in. I'm going to go through it and see because I feel like there's a couple extra door openings in there. There was a lot. But right now, they're at the part where it's important. So let's listen. This is the part about when Leilani leaves. We're getting in a night here. Well, no, this is when she goes to meet the booty call. The $80 booty call.
I'd like to approach with what's been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit 86. On page 5 of this exhibit, there's a text message that has been identified in prior testimony as being from Daniel Youngkin to the defendant, sent at 10:38 p.m. on October 4th. Can you read what that message says?
It says Paul showed up and is going to bed.
So would this opening of the dining room door seem to correlate with that message?
Yes, sir.
It also proves Danny told the truth on stand.
Slide 23.
On October 4th at 11:13 p.m., the front door is still open and the dining room is open and closed.
Slide 24.
On October 4th at 11:58 p.m., the front door is closed.
Slide 25.
On October 5th of 2022 at 1 o'clock in the morning, the living room door is opened.
Now, let me go back to the last slide 24. What's the time on slide 24 and what door is active here?
The front door is closed at 11:58 p.m.
All right. So between 11:58 p.m. when the front door closes and the next slide, 1:02 a.m. on the 5th when the living room door opens, was there any other door activity in the house?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, let me ask you about this living room door here. Did you look through the records to see how frequently this door is used?
Yes.
And what can you tell us about that?
Through September 28th to October 5th, this door was, well, I take that back. Up to the point of when we arrived on scene, the living room door was opened only 8 times.
Had it been opened any other time that you know of on October 4th?
Not that I'm aware of.
Slide 26.
On October 5th at 1:03 a.m., the living room door is closed.
Slide 27.
On October 5th at 1:07 a.m., the dining room door is open and closed.
Slide 28.
October 5th at 1:10 a.m., the dining room door is open and closed.
Slide 29.
On October 5th at 1:26 a.m., the dining room door is open and closed.
Slide 30.
On October 5th at 1:39 a.m., the dining room is open and closed.
Slide 31.
On October 5th, 2 o'clock at 2:01 in the morning, the dining room door is open and closed.
Slide 32.
On October 5th at 2:04 in the morning, the dining room door is opened.
Slide 33.
On October 5th at 2:36 in the morning, the dining room.
Slide 34.
On October 5th at 5:44 in the morning, the dining room door is open and closed.
Slide 35.
On October 5th at 5:47 in the morning, the dining room door is open and closed.
Slide 36.
On October 5th at 9:22 a.m., the front door is opened.
And is that the entry you were talking about earlier?
Yes, sir.
The 9:22 opening of the door that would have been several minutes into the defendant's phone call to Daniel Duncan?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, we've been going through this thing pretty quickly, but that door had been closed for many hours at this point, right?
Correct.
37.
On October 5th at 9:30 in the morning, the dining room door is open and closed, and the front door is still open.
So whoever opened that door at 9:22 left it hanging open.
Correct.
Slide 38.
On October 5th at 9:33 in the morning, the dining room door is open and closed, and the front door is still open.
Slide 39.
On October 5th at 9:36 in the morning, the dining room door is open and closed, and the front door is still open.
And slide 40.
On October 5th at 9:39 in the morning, the dining room is open and closed, and the front door is still open.
And it's sometime not too long after that the police show up.
Yes, sir.
Now, on October 6th, day 2 Were you involved in some follow-up investigation pertaining to Daniel Youngkin?
Yes, sir.
And again, you were paired up with him.
Special Agent Solomon.
Did you all go out to Danny's place of work?
That is correct.
Can you tell us what that place was?
It was Eclipse Warehouse. That's where he worked out over at the Parkway.
All right, Newport Wentworth.
Correct.
Did you all interview Dave Mullins?
That is correct.
And did you all get timesheets for the defendant, Paul, and Danny?
Correct.
Did you all ask them to provide you with surveillance footage?
That is correct.
And what were y'all looking for in that surveillance footage?
And then
What were y'all wanting to see?
in the initial interview with Danny, he described how he reacted when he received the phone call from Leilani, which he was at work when he received the phone call. So acquiring the surveillance footage would just corroborate how he acted and when he left work and when he arrived on scene.
And have you seen that footage?
No, sir.
Oh, you actually haven't seen it?
No, sir.
Who got it or who received it from?
It would be Special Agent Solomon later on. He did not present it to us while we were both on scene.
Okay. Now, you were the point person for tracing the trash, I guess.
Correct.
Can you tell us about how you came to be assigned to do that?
So initially, after we did the interview with Danny's boss, we all collaborated at the FBI headquarters, and basically everyone had assignments that day, and we brought back the knowledge that we had, and then we sat down at the table, and it was when Brad disclosed when Leilani visited her friend at Azalea that she never visited Leilani. So it drew up a red flag of why exactly did she go to Azalea Park if her alibi was speaking with Misty. And so that's why we focused the next morning on the Azalea trailer park.
So at the time of this meeting, Special Agent Snyder had already interviewed Misty.
Correct.
Okay. Did you all have at that point, were you aware of video footage from Azalea as well at that point?
The video footage was recovered the next morning on October 7th.
Okay. So is the interview of Misty alone made the dumpsters of interest to y'all?
Correct.
And did you then begin an effort to figure out where the trash in those dumpsters had gone?
Yes, sir.
And about what date are we at here where you started this project? And if you need to refer to your report, I'd like to get the dates right here.
That would be October 7th.
Okay, so it'd be day 3 of the investigation.
Yes, sir.
All right. Had those dumpsters been emptied by that point?
Yes, sir.
Between like the morning of October 5th and October 7th when you're beginning this project?
Yes, those dumpsters were picked up the morning of October 5th.
Okay. Sometime after daybreak, I guess.
The dumpster, when they went to Azalea Mobile Park, he picked up those dumpers at 9:36 in the morning at Azalea Mobile.
Okay, so everything that was in there from say 1:15 a.m. on the 5th on would have been gone at the time that these dumpsters became of interest to you.
Correct.
Okay. So what was your first step in tracing the trash?
I got a hold of the manager of Azalea, Robin, and basically just asked her over phone, like, who takes your trash, and she provided a company, Waste Pro.
All right. And what'd you do with that information? Where'd you go from there?
I called Waste Pro, just the generic line, said, hey, I need to talk to someone. I'm conducting an investigation about a missing child. I was linked up with Joe Matz.
Who is Joe Matz?
Joe Matz, he runs Waste Pro at Hardyville, South Carolina. He runs the company like a manager.
And was Mr. Matz helpful to you?
Yes, he was.
Was he able to tell you whether his company had in fact, it had a truck empty those dumpsters on the morning of October 5th?
Yes, sir.
Was he able to tell you exactly which truck?
Yes, sir.
And was he able to tell you where that truck went?
Yes, sir.
And was he able to provide you with some documentation of all these things?
Yes.
Can you describe the documentation that he was able to give to you? He'll come in and testify about it in more detail, but can you describe what he was able to give to you?
Yeah, so the driver in the mornings, he picks up his, we'll say, route, and it's like a dispatch log. It's printed off. He receives it. The driver would just mark which one is still active companies, and he would follow that route. And it was just proven which place he stopped at during that day.
And did that dispatch log or whatever it's called show that this particular truck had in stock, in fact, serviced Azalea that day, October 5th?
Yes.
Okay. What was he able to tell you in terms of where that truck had then gone with the trash to dump it?
He went to a waste management landfill off Little Neck Road.
So once you had that information from Mr. Matz, what did you do with that?
I contacted Denard Johnson, who's basically the showrunner out there. He runs the landfill. I asked him if he would stop unloading the garbage he was receiving.
Did you go talk to him in person?
Yes.
And did you ask him whether he could tell you the general area where the truck that you were concerned with would have dumped its trash on the morning of October 5th?
Yes.
And was he able to give you that information?
Yes, he went out there and pointed it out to us.
Okay. Can you describe, just in general terms, the size and type of area that he was pointing out to you?
I mean, it's a massive hill. I'd say, 100-yard incline, just straight up, not safe to walk on. That's pretty much.
Did you then ask Mr. Johnson to stop routing trash to that particular area?
I did.
And was he cooperative with that?
Yes.
Did they reroute their operations to a different area of the landfill from that point in time?
Yes, sir.
What day was it that you were out there asking him to hit the brakes with dumping trash in that particular area?
It'd be October 7th.
That was October 7th that you met with him?
Correct.
And had garbage trucks been dumping trash in that area between October 5th and October 7th when you asked him to stop doing that?
Yes.
All right, so like a couple days worth of trash then on top of Quinton.
Correct.
From there, were you involved in the coordination of what's been referred to as the landfill search, the effort to search this area that Denard Johnson pointed out to you and find Quinton in all that trash?
Yes.
Can you tell us what you remember about that, the coordination and different agencies involved and so forth?
So the FBI was familiar. They've done a couple landfill searches as well, and we got a hold of Team Adam, who specialized in recovering bodies in the landfill. Of Team Adam that we know of, it was named after Adam Walsh, who was a 6-year-old child that was abducted from a Sears department store and murdered. And from there, I don't know exactly when they found the child, but they weren't able to find the killer till 20 years later when he confessed on his death.
Not irrelevant to this investigation.
So in any case, Team Adam is named after Adam Walsh.
Correct.
One of the original high-profile missing children.
Correct.
Okay. Did consultants from Team Adam come down and visit the landfill?
Yes, sir.
And did they advise on the proper conduct of the landfill search?
Yes, they did.
Was an FBI agent named Brian Osden involved in this as well?
Correct.
Y'all were all working together?
Yeah, it was a group effort.
One moment, please. Do you see in front of you a document marked as States Exhibit 61?
I do.
Do you recognize that document?
Yes.
What is it?
It is a search warrant for the search of the landfill. It would be Waste Management Superior Landfill at 3001 Little Neck Road, Savannah, Georgia.
And when did you obtain that search warrant?
The search warrant was signed on the 14th day of October.
Your Honor, I would introduce that as States Exhibit 61.
Give me 1 second, Judge. I don't think I do one. No objection, Judge.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. We'll take the nobles. Let's start with the ADT stuff, okay? And you said that the cameras weren't working.
To my knowledge, no, they weren't working.
Did you seek to download them?
When I talked with ADT, they were unable to recover any footage when the search warrant was executed.
Okay. When was the search warrant executed?
It was executed on the 17th of October.
So almost 2 weeks later, correct?
Correct.
But if you go through the records, and I was looking through it, it says that there was video footage, correct?
Are you referring to the search warrant, sir?
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually referring to the records themselves. I mean, it says monitor device driveway camera remote access test passed October 5th, 7:55.
That's correct.
So are you saying that there was footage, but it's corrupted, or you just weren't able to get the footage, or you didn't get the footage?
To my knowledge, it was a test that the system itself could connect to the front camera, but there was no video footage for ADT to obtain.
Okay. And there were several different sensor tests saying that there was camera footage and that the test was passed, but you're saying that you weren't able to recover any of the camera footage.
Correct.
Okay. So let's go ahead and look at this, and I'm just trying to summarize it. So according from what I can tell, it looks like that the front door opened, and I may have got the times wrong because it all kind of ran together when you were talking about it. But it looks like the front door opened on October 4th at 7:59, closed 8:41, opened 8:41, or maybe that's not, it's 21:41. I'm horrible with military time. What is that?
What time frame did you just say again?
Starting on October 4th, around 2100 on your records.
Okay. 21:41. That's 8:41 p.m.
That's 8:41?
That is correct.
Okay. So 8:41 p.m. then. And it says that the front door was opened at, I guess, 22:11. Is that correct?
That'd be 10:11 p.m.
So at 10:11, it's opened. Then you go on up and it says dining room, open, closed, dining room, open, closed, dining room, open, closed. Correct?
Correct.
And then it says October 4th at 23:55. 23:55 is what time?
11:55 p.m. It's right before midnight.
All right. Video device driveway camera remote access test passed. And then right above that, living room door opened. And it says right above that, it says front door closed at 11:58, correct?
Correct.
And my understanding is, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you say that the front door wasn't opened again until 9:22 the next morning.
That's what the records indicate.
And so, but there were many different doors that opened and closed that night, correct?
Correct. In between that time frame, yes, sir.
Right. And they're all living room and dining room back doors, correct?
Correct.
What is a modem ping?
The modem ping 10.4,
Yes.
22, 1033, or just in general, just the
Just in
message?
general, what is it?
To my knowledge, the modem ping was just a testing of the actual access to the system itself, like that it was able to access the sensors. It's just a self check. That so if that modem ping did not detect the sensors, then it would read something different, like unsuccessful.
Okay. And let's go on up on further into the morning of October 5th. Video device front porch cam at 2:07. No remote access. 2:19, dining room door left open. 2:19, sensor left open, rule event triggered a monitor notification. I assume that means some sort of notification.
Yes, so you can see we're going to go sensor left open, 219, the bottom one. You see where it says Joe Swan 2 at Yahoo?
Mm-hmm.
So that is when he's accessing it with his phone. That's
Okay.
what I believe that indicates.
All right. So at 2:19, a notification was sent, correct?
Yes, that's what the records would show.
And it says dining room door, sensor left open, restoral. I don't know. What does that mean? Did you ever ask what that meant?
No, I did not ask what the restoral part meant.
Okay. And then again, there's just more opening and closing, correct?
Correct.
So you did attempt to get some video camera footage, but you weren't able to.
Yes, because I had the same question you had when I received these records. It was pinging, it was accessing a camera. And so I did reach out to Stacy as well and said, what does that mean? And she's saying, basically, it's just saying it has a successful test, but it's not, they didn't have any footage they can provide me.
And just, again, it's showing successful testing, it's showing it's there, it's showing the equipment's working, but there's no successful or no camera footage, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so it shows that there's at least some fault in the system, correct?
I wouldn't say fault, no.
Well, if something says that it's working and then you can't get it, what would you call it then?
Well, people every day, they have rig footage and they're not subscribed and they can't access that video footage. So it's not at fault. There's no access to the video footage.
Are you saying that's what happened here?
No, I just use that as an example that the system's not at fault. The company just could not provide me video footage.
Okay. Well, did you ever check and see whether or not they had actually subscribed for the video footage?
No.
You just took the records for what they were worth, correct?
Correct.
You didn't do any further investigation into that.
I talked with Stacy Wise, who is employed with ADT and certified to provide me these business records. That's who I.
You can say no, that's fine. I mean, so you didn't check to see if there was any defective equipment or any camera footage or whether they were not subscribed. It's okay.
At this point, I think the question is asked and answered, and I would lodge an objection on that basis.
I don't think it's been answered, Judge.
I'm going to allow him to ask the question. He does have him on cross-examination.
So my question is, you didn't do any further inquiry on the issue of the camera footage.
Correct.
That was it. Okay. Now, with regards to the trash, did you, when you identified the trash truck, did you identify the route that the trash truck took?
Correct.
Okay. And what exactly was the route that the trash truck took on its normal daily route on that particular day?
I don't have the route memorized on my, but the driver himself provided notes of the route, and then the documents provided of the route itself as well.
All right. Well, and did the route include up and down Ageechee Road?
Yes.
Did it include up and down Buckhalter Road?
Buckhalter.
Buckhalter.
I would have to look at the route.
How about up and down Girard?
Again, I would have to look at the route.
So you don't have any knowledge of that, to the best of your knowledge.
There's documents provided of the route the truck took.
Right. You just don't remember. That's all.
Correct.
Okay. That's all the questions I got, Judge.
Just a couple questions on this video thing. Your search warrant, let me see your search warrant. You talked specifically with Stacy Ann Weiss about these camera ping entries in the records and whether that might mean that there's video footage available.
Yes.
And she told you, we don't have any video to give you.
No.
Based on her level of cooperation, do you think if they had video, she would have found it?
Calls for speculation.
I don't think it does. I think he can testify from his personal knowledge to this question.
Let me hear the question.
How many times did you talk to her?
I just talked to her, revolving the records and what I didn't understand. I just talked to her one time.
And she told you they didn't have any footage for that address.
Correct.
Is there any reason to believe that that's not true?
No.
You talked to Joe Swain. You can sit down. You talked to Joe Swain at headquarters on the 5th, right?
Correct.
Was he cooperative?
Yes.
He was showing you all this door sensor stuff on his phone, right?
So initially, when I interviewed Joe, he just spoke about Leilani and something wasn't right.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Okay.
Joe provided snapshots of what he had on his phone to me via cell phone. He sent them via text and looked up the system himself.
In the way of door sensor records.
Correct.
Based on his level of cooperation, do you think if he had video footage, he would have given it to you?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
Sustain.
And are you aware of the defendant saying to investigators during this investigation, oh, the cameras weren't working that night because they only work when the alarm system is armed? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
I don't have any further questions.
No, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Detective Noble, Your Honor.
Yes, Detective Noble, you are excused. I know that the state anticipates calling one more witness. Okay, and so ladies, let's plow through if you are able.
I was looking at this. The next witness is like 2 hours long. I think I'm going to do that one tomorrow. I want to watch him too because he's important, just as important as this one was. Yeah, she's like, you want to plow through? Because it was their last witness. Mr. Hillard told Judge earlier that he was tired. Yeah, I heard that, Tic Tac. Oh my God, I'm going to pull clips tomorrow morning when I wake up. I think I'm going to bed tonight because you're right. Yeah, I didn't, I didn't go live this morning, Marion. I stayed, I decided to let my husband sleep this morning. The kids were here and he hasn't been sleeping well. He's been moody at work. So he was like, I need some sleep. And I said, okay, I'll just wait. So then I was going to come live at between 2 and 3. But then my son called and said, Angie's taking the kids at 7. So I was like, okay, we'll wait. So we had to wait. I figured my house would be quiet, but you missed it because my dog decided to make a whole lot of noise instead of the kids tonight. Yeah, right. You better not start getting speedy. She goes a good pace, I think, so far. I think it was smart to stop here. Well, not here. We have one more. We're going to listen to him tomorrow. I promise, because I want to hear him. He had a lot of information and I kept missing it. What's the timestamp so I can finish this? You can't be patient. Okay, hold on. It's 5:15:21 or 5:16. I don't know. I can't never tell. About 5:15. Wait till you see the end of it. No bloody hell, Crystal. You have a life. I know. He's crazy. Never. Never. Or my house. Or my life. I don't gotta go right now. I just don't want to watch the next guy because he's 2 hours long. So I could stay for I'll stay another 20 minutes. I just don't want to watch the next guy yet. I want to watch him tomorrow because I really want to be in tuned when I watch him and rested. So very impatient. He's good, lady, or the next guy, he's I'd say he's up there with that other lady I liked that did the FBI stuff. But no, let's talk real quick because what I wanted to say was about them cameras. That's what I was saying. What do you think about that? That he didn't have the footage from those cameras. Now you have to think, did Leilani do something to the cameras that they couldn't get it? The brother tells him about the app, but where were the fucking cameras? They're saying they were on and working, but no footage. And something else. Where did I hear it? What did I hear? It's the next guy. We'll wait till tomorrow. We'll wait tomorrow because it's the next guy. He says it, so we'll talk about it tomorrow. Do not play. Yeah, let's chat for a little bit. I figure I'll stay on for the 4-hour mark. Then I'm tired. I've been going to bed early, not early, getting up. My sleep schedule's so off, but on. It's so weird. It's because I'm trying to transition from night to day. It ain't working out too well. I like doing the court things during the day, but I'm just not used to sleeping normal. I got to be, though, soon because we got these babies. Oh, my son. I'm happy if he does it. He spoke to me about moving to Iowa with the kids. I don't want the kids to go, but I think it would be really, really good for him because my nephew lives there and he has a lot of help from his dad. And my nephew offered to help my kid. I think it would be a good break for my grandbabies. So fingers crossed that's what he decides to do. You're tired too? I feel like it's been a long week because we've just been sitting here watching this trial. Did Jody really cry? I feel bad. They lost their family member. Last night when I'm talking about him, Andy always comes in my chat and gives me the dreadful fucking news. That's the second time he did that to me. I forget what the first thing was. Oh, his mom. Don't make fun of my mom. And then the uncle died, and that's awful. That's a loss. And I feel bad because I was talking about him. I didn't expect that. My deepest sympathies for real with the Bernard family tonight. She's talking to kids. Oh, is he taking the kids? Yeah, I'm hoping, Holler. He'll have a lot of help there if he does. My brother-in-law was in the army, and my kid needs some fucking discipline. He'll probably be home. He'll get mad at them and come home, but I want my grandbabies. I don't want them to take the kids. It's only 10 hours from here. My son drives. We'll figure it out. Charges, chat, 19 charges, 1 count of malice murder. Yeah. 2 counts of felony murder. I thought it was only 1 count of felony murder. 1 count of each, and then the rest were all lying. Yes, he said his mom was sick. Under the jail. Yes, Lady R. She needs to be under the jail. It's just crazy to me. I'm really upset about this camera shit. I'm hoping, though, that maybe Leilani took them cameras. I mean, they didn't talk about that in front. Yeah, did they? Yeah, that was in front of the jury, too. Hey, that might be a win. The jurors might think Leilani tampered with them cameras. I think she did. And why didn't Billy Joe talk about that? Billy Joe's the one that announced the door being open on Cher. They said the door was open from da da da, but even that's not true because she was saying it was open at 3:30 till 3:30 or something. So what Billy Joe said wasn't true. I think I'm gonna have to go re-listen. And though the cameras worked, they didn't record. Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. He should have looked more into that so that they could have went more into that, like the bitch fucked with the cameras, you know? That's what I was getting ready to say. The next guy tomorrow, I think he's the one that says he questioned Leilani. Oh, what was it? I forget. I don't want to ask the question right. That's why I said we'll wait till tomorrow. The question wrong. I mean, you got to pay for ADT, but if everything's working and it's still telling you what time the door's open and shut, right? It's not off. ADT should just automatically have them saved. $10 years for concealment of death. I'm not sure how ADT works. That I don't have those cameras. Maybe they were paying for the alarm. Yeah, but why would the guy say, like, oh, the cameras worked? That's bothersome to me. That should have been more looked into. It shouldn't have been admissible in the trial. They shouldn't even have spoke about it if he didn't have the information. However, I think it helps the prosecution and not the defense. And not the camera service. Could you do that? Why would they say they were working? They just didn't have footage. They didn't tell them why they didn't have footage. Yeah, like what do you do? Walk in there, okay, thank you. So you didn't follow up on it? But he said the report says, yes, that's what he said. That's what I'm saying. That's why this was so confusing to me. Did you guys, that's why I was asking you to watch it with me because I wanted to, that's why I said, I don't really like this guy no more. I liked him at first when he was talking about the doors, but then he got into that and he was like shitty about it. Like he was mad he was being questioned about it. Like, dude, everybody's going to want to know that. But hopefully the jurors take that like Leilani was fucking with the cameras. Because that's what I think happened. so they wouldn't see her, you know. I seen a couple faces from her where she looked shocked when evidence came out today. I'm assuming here. I don't for sure. Yeah, you're assuming. We can never know for sure because this guy didn't ask the fucking right questions. He didn't follow up on it. He probably got that and made a mistake and didn't follow up. He probably knew he was going to be asked about that. Can't get an attitude about that one, though, because you fucked that up. Yeah. Who asked about the key earlier? I think in the next part, Tic Tac, I think asked it. I think with the next guy, that's what I was getting ready to say. Leilani, I think, told him something about a keypad. She had thought, because she said you put the code in and you shut the alarm off. It was in her interview or somewhere. I think it's something with this guy coming up. All right, Holler, I'm waiting for you to finish it. Yep. Oh, Tic Tac. You got some good thoughts tonight. Yep, that's probably who called. And that didn't happen, I think, too long before he went missing. So that babysitter sat with them kids all them months and didn't make a phone call. Okay. But is there capital? Can she get the death penalty? Yeah, Leilani definitely says somewhere here, or the guy that says that Leilani told him that something about shutting the alarm system off. He questioned her about it. Boop, boop. We'll watch it tomorrow. I promise. I'm going to get up early and come live early. So all of you get sleep too. You can come in and chat. I'll probably be live by 11, 12 if I go to bed early enough. No death penalty. That's fucking sick. I bet you they regret that after this case. You can tell how disgusted they are. And it's so funny at the end of this last guy, he does such a good job that the bow tie is like has the shittiest look on his face. Not to be rude, but that's a tall tale sign, and that feels like a good indication of where he thinks the evidence from the next guy goes. All right, guys, you know what? I'm going to end it even 6 minutes earlier because I'm having a rough time keeping my eyes open here. I don't know why I'm so tired. It's considered second degree. Oh, damn it. She needs first degree. What the fuck? That's crazy. All right, but I'm going to go get some sleep. We'll commune in the morning. Well, early afternoon on the East Coast. Well, Earl's sleeping. Nobody's here. I'll have all day. It'll be quiet. I think I'm going to have salad. I'm going to have some kind of salad for lunch. Yeah, let's pray. I hope she never gets out. Aw, sweet dreams, Marion. And I also hope that Billy Joe gets some sort of charges somewhere down the line. I think they're coming. Yes, thank you everyone for being kind and joining my live tonight. Please hit the like button. Can you also, real quick, can you also tell I'm gonna tell Lady R because I'm getting off. You are amazing. Thank you, Lady R, for all you do. Thank you for modding. Good night. Get some sleep. We'll see you like between 11 and 12, I'm guessing. Talk to you soon. Bye.